everything already.
Oh, I can't see nothing. Over there. Okay. Elevator music.
Twitch says the title is invalid. Oh, I can't title it that. Hold on. I'll be right back. Oh, here, I can edit it right here. Oh, I can't say fuckery. Okay, so, the effery. Come on. What should I title this?
I don't know. Just get it off fuckery. Can anybody see us?
Not yet.
All right.
I said your personalities are showing. There we go. Get a finish here. So, and I'm allowed to put it on Rumble as the fuckery, so that's what it's going to go on Rumble as. All right, here we go. I guess we're live. We're live.
Okay. Are we live? Oh yeah, we're live. We've been live. We was sitting here. We were like, oh yeah, blah 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 blah.
Well,
yeah,
it was telling me that Twitch couldn't go to Twitch, but I don't know. Maybe it's not going to Twitch now.
She couldn't get her camera to work, and while she was doing that, I started doing something else, and I literally completely forgot to check. I forgot to come back, and she's like, "Where are you? Where are you? Where are you?" And I'm like, "Oh,
did you do your destination?"
Yeah. Oh, stream this to your audience. My bad. Hold on. Stream this to your audience. All right, hold on.
Like we said, it was going to be a little chaotic. It's been a day. Let me see if I've gotten any more updates. Apparently not. She must be waiting.
Hold on. My description is awesome.
I see you. I just sent her that. Jesus fucking Christ. This woman drives me nuts.
My description was Sarah Bobera.
Sarah Bobera. Okay, guys. So here's the deal. Back on.
Hold on. Let's make sure mine's working. It's not showing up live. Okay, is it showing up now? It should be showing
July
up now.
July 28th, 2024 at 4th.
Hold on. Hold on. Don't forget to turn on the ad things. Is it showing up on YouTube? It says it's showing up on YouTube on my end. I just want to make sure. Okay, it's linked through. Okay, I can see it is. All right. So, all right, you start with something. I don't know. We'll start with something. We don't even know what the fuck we're doing.
Well, I know where I'm going to start. Okay, so here we go. So, like I said, on July 28th this year at 4:49 p.m., I got an interesting little text message, and it came in from somebody called Linda Wiseman. And as soon as I screenshotted it and sent it to my group, because I was like, I don't even know what the hell this is, they began to tell me, hey, she's made a lot of anti-fancy content, so be careful, this whole thing. And so I was like, okay, well, no problem. I don't intend to interact with this person anyway, so not an issue. But she says to me at first, she goes, hey, I really need to talk to you about something, but I'm quite frightened of how you're going to respond or react. And you know what? I said, I don't bite. What's up? So I just wanted to see what she would say, because I didn't even know who she was or anything else. I just knew she made anti-fancy content. People have been telling me. And she says, please hear me out. My mom was Sarah Jane Anderson. So first of all, I and my sister would like to offer you an apology if she caused you any harm. Our mom was not well mentally due to various things that happened in her life. Mom is now in a mental hospital receiving the care she needs. She liked your work, Fancy. She really did. When Pink Cat got involved with you, that really bothered her. Mom wasn't very good at getting a message across, but in her mind, she was trying to warn you about Pink Cat. So I beg you accept our apology. And I was like, hi, this is the first time I think I'm hearing the truth. Can you provide proof? And I'll be happy to clear her name. Obviously I'm just like, all right, I'm going to bite for a minute here. And I said, and if it's true, I hope she is doing better. And I'm so sorry this happened. And she's like, well, what proof do you need? So I don't know if I'm going to walk through everything or if we're going to kind of skip forward.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So at this point, Linda is okay. This is not going to go anywhere where you think it's going to go. This is when I said the fuckery, there's fuckery. Okay. This is not going to go where you think it's going to go. So Linda's getting a hold of her, yada, yada, yada. I'm not in this, right? So I'm running this. And then so at that point, like we had heard from Sarah, yada, 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 everything was fine. And then we kind of just dropped it off. We had done our live, whatever, we dropped it off. And then Linda reaches out to Fancy, does not reach out to me, does not reach out to me. And those three are in a conversation, whatever. And then I think Sarah got added to so it was you, Sarah, Amy,
And
and
Amy.
Linda.
Right. It was
I
me,
was not
Sarah,
put in
Amy, and
it.
Linda. No.
And while this was going on, Sarah was this is during the time that Sarah ended up calling me for the first time, calling you for the first time,
First
right?
time. Right.
Okay.
And she gave
So
us this whole sob story about
right.
a dead husband and how she, she had these thought processes after the husband died and it was just too much for her. And she tried to take her life, and
And you guys
the
knew all
nasty, and we knew all that, right? So then the nasty neighbor from next door supposedly comes into my life, tells me this whole thing, Helen Hunt. And then we've got, I think there's about 7 to 8 different personalities that show up randomly throughout this whole thing. Linda being the newest one. Okay, so we've dealt with Johnny. We've dealt with John Archer, who is absolutely not Johnny. Don't call him that or he loses his shit. Um,
Hold
we've
on.
had,
Faust, hold on. Faust Gray, we love you. Sarah Jane Anderson is a hoax. You should focus on Pink Hat Sarah. Just sit around. You'll see what's going on.
Faust, though, I just wanted to know, is there a reason why you're just so focused on Pink Cat Sarah? I mean, I'm focused on Pink Cat Sarah. Ryan's focused on Pink Cat Sarah, but I just love to know why you're focused on Pink Cat Sarah. But it's okay.
So since Sarah Jane Anderson is a hoax, shall we call her? What she did do is she did turn on her camera, and
Mm-hmm.
her camera is absolutely the pictures that we've seen of her. Sarah Jane Anderson is a real live person that
Person.
we have both spoken to. We have both seen on video. And she is absolutely 100% a real person. She is not a hoax. She is not nothing. The problem, come to find out, is not Sarah Jane Anderson. Okay. Linda, in the meantime, we don't know Linda. Linda comes up from fucking nowhere.
Right.
And at first, there was no really big issue, except for the fact that Sarah and Linda would call me and talk shit about Fancy, call Fancy, talk shit about me. And we started kind of comparing notes. And at one point, Linda says, "Oh, my mom just called me." She tells Fancy, "Oh, my mom just called me." But the thing was, I was in a Walmart parking lot. I was talking to Sarah. And in 2.5 minutes, Fancy called me and said that Sarah was calling her. So you're telling me that from the time I got off the phone, Sarah calls Linda and talks to her, tells her the whole story in 2 minutes, and then calls Fancy. I talk fast, and even I can't do that. Okay. So Linda's getting weirder by the moment. Sarah's getting weirder by the moment. And we are like, what the fuck is going on? Things were not making sense. And then there was conversations. I got added in because at that point, Linda said she hadn't talked about me. So I got in and I start just highlighting where she's saying shit. And so Linda starts going off and Sarah starts going off. And we're like, okay, obviously these two they got screws loose, right? So we don't think nothing of it. We're like, whatever, fine. And we just discarded it. Okay, we were just
Right.
done. We were like,
Well,
obviously these
well,
two people are
this
nuts.
was Well, the last thing I basically said to her was, okay, so she goes off, she starts all this shit, and I'm like, Ryan does her live. I refuse to speak about it. So they're mad that I won't speak about it. And in this period of time, I get sent a little screenshot from my friend's profile, Tasha K, which you all know I did my interview with Tasha K. Well,
Oh, we
see,
forgot
now
about that.
Sarah was going around, Pink Cat was going around telling everybody that I wasn't going to Florida, that I was going to fleece everybody for money. Meanwhile, I asked for none, that it wasn't fully paid for, this whole fucking shit, right? She's going around screaming this. And I'm going around telling everybody, I don't know what the heck you're talking about. So this Linda person goes to Tasha K's page, and she just randomly posts this on any freaking one of the videos before I went. And she said, "Hey, I'm just wondering if you're going to be in town on the 15th to 16th in Fort Lauderdale." Tasha, thinking nothing about this shit, sends her back, thank you, sends her back a message that says, "I will be in Miami in July," right? Or whatever. And that's what she sent back. And so she's basically like, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. This is my tour schedule. She's not going to tell people when she's in her home, actual state and town. That is where she lives. That is her home. Why would she
Funnily
tell
enough,
anybody?
the reason we found this is because Midnight happened to just find this exact screenshot of this exact thing from Linda out of fucking nowhere and post it to basically discredit Fancy, saying that she wasn't going to be there. But she somehow managed to find Linda on this random ass thread, and this random ass Linda asking about this random ass date.
That Sarah was just totally random that Pink Cat was just totally random ass obsessed with, and telling everyone that Jane, the court reporter for our court case, was lying to me and she did not trust her. And yes, we absolutely had to be in town in Missouri on the 17th. So there is absolutely no way I could possibly go to Fort Lauderdale and then end up in Missouri one day later. And I'm like, that's because I don't have to go to Missouri. I've already told you this, you dumb fuck. I don't know why you aren't listening to me. Well, I don't trust her. Well, I'm sorry that you don't trust her. Perhaps speak to the public defender you were provided. I don't know. I'm not having the same problems you're having. So,
So,
I, so on
so
August 3rd, no, here, so I talked about that. So on August 3rd, I tell her I left the group because I will not entertain this nonsense any further. I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. What you are doing is an international suicide hoax, and I'm going to expose it just like I exposed the Blanchards and all their minions. You are irrelevant to me or this case. You have done nothing but cause drama and stir up shit. Why did you come forward now? Nobody was talking about this. Nobody. Because we all know that whatever fuckery this is and whoever is involved, you need serious mental help. Please stop all communication with me or my team today. Do not contact us again. We would be turning this over to our state's attorney because we have been accused of murdering your mom. Your pathetic, sad, stupid attempts are over. Cease all communications or further action will be taken. I assure you, we are not the ones. You tried to play me and Ryan one more time and it didn't work. Sorry, not sorry. You don't have the mental capacity to keep tangling with us. Clearly, you are unwell. Please get help. And so she basically comes back and she's like, well, I'm not playing you. Why can't you just believe what I'm saying? And I'm like, ha ha ha. Okay, Sarah. So I'm already to the point where I believe this is Pink Cat. I mean, from the start, I was like, no, 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 no. This is Pink Cat. This is Pink Cat. So go ahead, Ryan.
all right. So in the meantime, so now Linda, for some reason, decides she's going to start reaching out to me and driving me insane. And after I pointed out that she did call me all these names, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So right about August 6th, she starts losing her mind on me and whatever. She's talking about closing down Fancy's thing or whatever. And I told her she could stop with her threats. And I said, maybe you shouldn't tell repeatedly your mother is dead. And that need I remind you, you told me she died the other day. Because by the way, while she was talking to us, Sarah Jane died again.
Say it
Okay.
again.
So she, okay,
Twice,
yeah.
I think,
No,
even. Twice,
no.
even.
So so according to her husband, she died in March 9th. And then she died in May. Everybody saw her die in May, in real time on our live. And I nit that in the bud when she accused her of doing it. And then in June, okay, so then June, she Brandy actually found where Linda had come on and said that she died June 3rd. Well, while all of this is going down, she died again on Sunday. So she died again on Sunday. At this point, she's died 4 times now. And so I said, how about you tell your police that I've already told you to leave me alone? Okay. So at this point on August 9th, this is where the fuckery took a turn and we couldn't figure out we could not figure out what the fuck was going on. This message makes no sense. Now, this message makes no sense, but it's going to make all the sense when I play the video, and then I'm going to give you the bridge. So she says, y'all are gonna, you guys sit down. This does not go anywhere where you thought it was gonna go, because this is a level of fuckery even I can't even imagine. She says, and you're gonna go, this message makes no sense. Just wait, it will. So August 9th, newsflash, cunt. Sarah Jane Anderson is not my mother.
This is from the Linda account.
This is from Linda.
Inside the Linda account.
This
To
is
all of
on
us.
Linda's account.
To all of us in a group chat. To all of us in a group chat.
No, this one's to me. This is just
that one's
me.
to you? Oh, she sent the same one to the group chat. She sent the same one to the group chat.
Well, okay. Well, I sent it there. Anyways, so listen.
Okay.
August 9th. Now this message is gonna make no sense, and then it's gonna make all the sense. Newsflash, cunt. Sarah Jane Anderson is not my mother. I am not fucking related nor do I fucking know the stupid bitch. But I'm proud of you and Fancy for destroying an innocent person just for the sake of saving my ass. Thank you. These are all in caps, okay? Sarah Jane, okay, sit down. Sarah Jane Anderson gave me money in December last year and then refused to send me more money for my car. I taught that bitch a lesson. You, Fancy, and Ryan fell for it. This one actually was in the group chat. You, Fancy, and notice me, she sent this to me and I was so confused. So confused because she's sending it to me and she says, you, Fancy, and Ryan fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. You do not have my permission to share these messages. Have we heard that before? Do you remember the last expose we did? You do not have, you cannot share these messages. And another hoax that you cannot share these messages.
And then she told Alicia that how dare she share these messages? You do not have
dumb
my permission
bitches.
to share these messages.
Now hold on. This gets better. You dumb bitches can't prove shit. And now you will never believe the actual Sarah Jane Anderson. She is fucked, and you idiots are too. How dare you share my messages online? It gets better. So she says in this random ass fucking message that made 0 sense at the time until we get the video I'm about to play you. Sarah Jane Anderson gave me money in December last year and refused to send me more money for my car. I taught that bitch a lesson.
Is that the do we need the next page?
She was asking for money for
Yeah, they can't hear it. They can't hear it. Here.
Yeah.
Do you have it?
You got it?
Send it to me. Send it to me.
Okay.
I can put it up.
We'll do it this way.
Yeah, just send it to me and I'll put it up.
Okay, here we go. We'll do it this way. Okay. All right, we're sending. Hold on.
Okay. Where'd you send it to?
I sent it to your actual Facebook.
Just me? Okay.
Yes. It's sending. Give me a minute.
Okay, no problem. I mean,
there is okay. So I sent you me and hers conversation, yours and hers conversation. The screenshot showing that Linda was the one who captured the video that is the bridge and then the bridge.
Okay.
So we're waiting. It's still sending.
Yeah, it hasn't come through yet. I was going to say. I'm going to go grab a drink of water or something.
Okay, we're going to try to do it this way. Hold on. Okay, it's saying that they're sending. Give me 1 second. They're almost through. There's only one more left, guys. Yeah, this was elaborate. There was a brother, there was a sister, there was everybody under the fucking sun. We had at least 8 or 9 different profiles attached to Sarah Jane Anderson. Okay. What you guys are gonna be able to hear in just a second. Okay, they just all sent. Perfect. When she comes back, she'll be able to play them. All right. Almost threw up. Anyway, so I just read you guys a message that makes 0 sense. Okay. Why is she saying she's not the mother? Why is she talking about getting money? It wouldn't get money for a car. Like none of this made any sense. Right. And so, no, Sarah Jane Anderson is somebody else. Oh no, it gets way crazier. Wait till you guys hear this. This is fucking weird. This is fucking weird. And this actually goes back to the last expose we did. Okay. All right. They're all okay. So play the 36-second one first.
Gotta get my plan. Okay, hold on. Where did I do present? Okay, so which one is the 36-second one?
It looks like it's the Discord logo with I think it should only be 36 seconds long.
Is it the one with the B in the middle?
That one? Yeah, it's upside down.
Hold on.
It's a Discord.
Okay.
Try to play that.
Okay, hold on. Let's see here.
Yes, Sarah Jane Anderson and Pink Hat Sarah are two different people. You're going to find that out real quick.
Okay, so here we go.
All right, that one.
Yeah. Let me unmute it.
Go into her mom's Facebook.
Okay. Okay. Well, that makes sense. All right. So we've got her health. You send her this money. She starts working with me.
Hold on. Let me go back. Health. Go into her mom's Facebook.
Okay. Okay. Well, that makes sense. All right. So we've got her health. You send her this money. She starts working with me. And
I went quiet with her for a month after we sent that money. And then it was sort of like January time, she was asking for more money for something to do with her car. And I said, I just can't do it. I've not got the money, I can't do it. And that's when everything spiraled.
oh, okay.
Think that's herself. Go into her mom's Facebook.
Okay. So now.
Well, that makes sense. Got her
So
health.
She tells Fancy this weird story, right? Okay, hold on. Just hold on. You'll be able to hear my clip better. You're going to be able to hear my clip better. Look at the one that's like brown. It's just brown. It's not a computerized voice. It's the way it's recorded. I promise you. All right, this is the one. Okay, so
1 minute and 38 seconds.
Yes. So Linda messaged me and said she was not Sarah Jane Anderson's daughter. That Sarah Jane Anderson had refused to send her money for a car. Now listen to what Sarah Jane Anderson says to me. Go.
Oh, hold on.
Was a tie with you and Pink Hat. What was going on with you and Pink Hat?
I told Fancy, the first time I had any connection with Pink Hat was December last year. We were in the same group and, we were getting on, sort of thing. And then she was asking for money for pancreatic cancer or something. She needed money for pancreatic cancer and she didn't have the funds. So I told Francie, I said, I sent her 200 British money. I don't know how much that is in US dollars.
I think it's like 250 or something. You guys ain't that much lower than us.
Yeah, and then January came and she wanted more money, was asking me for more money for a car or whatever it was. And I says, no, I can't do it.
Right.
I can't send any more money.
So you never talked to her before December 2023?
No.
And I mean, I'm not meaning to be any kind of way, but when you reached out to Fancy, or hell, even me, I mean, when you first reached out to Fancy, I mean, wouldn't it have been like, oh yeah, I know the person that you're working with?
No, I just got vibes from when I sent her money. She was all nicey.
Mm-hmm.
As nice as you can be.
Right.
And then when she asked for more money, and I said no, the tables turned. And I saw an ugly side.
Well, right, but why didn't you try to warn Fancy that then? It was a tie with you and Pink Hat.
All right.
Okay.
So, all right. So for people that are confused right now, again, Sarah Jane Anderson, the British woman you are hearing, okay? The British woman you are hearing, her daughter got a hold of us, and then her daughter was going on a fucking tirade in my messenger saying that she was not Sarah Jane Anderson's daughter, that Sarah Jane would refuse to give her money in December for a car. And we had no idea what the fuck she was going on about. And she said, because it was in a group, and there was basically only whoever left. And she said, you, Fancy, and Ryan are going to look like idiots, and no one will ever believe Sarah Jane Anderson. We had no idea what that meant. No idea. I thought she was insane. So then a little bit later, Sarah Jane decides to call us out of fucking nowhere. Okay, she decides to call us out of fucking nowhere. And she tells us this story about how she met.
Isn't that where she said she needed 90 minutes to be able to call before she could call?
Right, because her daughter had her phone.
Yeah.
So,
and it's clear that the daughter is in both accounts during this whole thing.
Right.
It's very clear.
Right.
Very clear.
So she said that that Sarah Jane Anderson met Sarah Pinkett Anderson in a pancreatic Facebook group, and Sarah Pinkett asked Sarah Jane for money in December of 2023, and she gave her $200 in American money. And then when Sarah asked her for money for a car in December, which is exactly what the fucking text message said to me, she said, no, I can't do this. And so now we're like, okay, so how is Sarah Pinkett in Sarah Jane's daughter's Facebook? And we could not put the two together. It didn't make any fucking sense. How is Sarah Pinkett in this woman's messenger? Now, in the meantime, show the screenshot. There's a screenshot.
Okay, which one is it?
It's just the screenshot. Okay, if you look, it's going to be really hard. Can you blow this up at all?
Maybe. Hold on, let me see if I can make it bigger. No, it's not.
Okay, so anyways, what you can see is there is a video. There's a video. We're gonna play part of that video. But the video, Linda sent this. Linda sent it. It says Linda. She sent it. She recorded it. Okay. She recorded it. You're going to have to go to the next clip. There's a 20-second clip of that video. Linda recorded the video. Watch up on top.
Hey, hold on.
Get in the box. Watch up on top, though. Come on. Get in the box. Come on. Hey, Tori, how you doing? I couldn't find you to tag you in my video. I'm sorry. All right. Sarah, get in the box. Let's have a talk. There. Linda recorded this, and I was having Pink Hat come up in my live to call her out on her bullshit. Okay. Linda recorded this, and up there is Sarah Pink Hat messaging her while she recorded it. Sarah Pink Hat was talking to Sarah Jane Anderson's daughter. Sarah Jane's daughter was the one who, in the messenger, blew me up and literally talked about Pink Hat's bullshit.
Right. They were trying to throw all of this on Pink Cat. Okay. That's what she was trying to do. At least that's where it was going. But if you read it across here, it's very poignant, actually. It's not just from Sarah Anderson. It says, I got called as a witness. First of all, let me explain this one last fucking time. Bitch, you were not called as a witness. I told you if they needed to know that Mike Stanfield did not serve me and that he admitted he did not serve me, then you might have to tell that in court later, not today, later. You might be a witness later. The reason you went is because you wanted to go. You told me you would take me a week before this when we first started hearing that this was happening. When I finally got confirmation that I had no other way, I had to go there. It was less than, I think it was less than 48 hours because you have to give the court 48 hours notice if you want to appear by WebEx and if you are disabled or live too far fucking away. Okay. Which they have done. So this is during the time period where she's telling her, I was called as a witness. So that's got to be either on the trip or before the trip.
Right. So this goes all the way back to June, 5th? June 6th at least. Well, no, it'd be before that because she said she was being called as a witness. So right. That we're looking at probably June 1st, June 2nd. She recorded this, had this in her phone, and sent it to us August fucking 10th. So she recorded this bullshit getting ready to set up because this woman I just realized this woman did not reach out to us until August, but she had this clip in her phone that she recorded back June 1st, June 2nd. She was talking to Pink Hat all the way back in fucking June.
Right. And it's posted in that time period by who? The Fancy Tea Society, which we all know is connected with who? Resident Midnight.
And don't forget, Fancy Tea Party also posted Linda, the daughter's screenshot as well. So Midnight knows what the fuck is going on. And in the meantime, Sarah Jane Anderson, we're supposed to not believe her, but this daughter comes out of fucking nowhere.
Nowhere.
Seems like Sarah Jane Anderson is a normal person in Britain. She is. But Pink Hat made a bunch of accounts pretending. No, so the daughter.
The daughter
Sarah,
is involved.
So Sarah does have a daughter named Linda. The thing is, Linda kept taking Sarah Jane Anderson's phone. She literally kept taking the phone from her. Okay. And in the meantime, she was getting login notifications that someone else was logging into her phone. And while this was happening, I get a message that makes no sense from Linda, the daughter's account, saying she's not the daughter and that Sarah wouldn't give her money for a car in December. And then Sarah, not knowing we got that message, tells us the story where Sarah Pink Hat had asked her for money in December. She gave it to her. Then she asked for money for her car in December, and she refused to do it. So Sarah Pink Hat got into the daughter's Facebook account. And you say, well, how would they know each other? That video right there shows Linda, the daughter, recording this, getting text messaged by Pink Hat, which shows that they know each other because she was getting a text message from Pink Hat while recording this. So
and look,
Sarah and Pink Hat knows.
Right. And the players here, there's Sarah, there's Courtney's there, I mean, this is, yeah. I mean, it's just fucking crazy, guys. It's so weird. But we get this message and I caught this, and it took us a while. Like I said, because I saw it come down, I was like, son of a bitch, what is that up there? And
I was listening. I was already watching it. I was 5 minutes into it. And I could hear her playing it. And she goes, did you catch that? And I said, catch what? I'm watching the same video you are. She said, Sarah texted her. I said, what the fuck are you talking about? She goes, to go to 2 minutes in. So I go to 2 minutes in. And I said, how the fuck is Pink Hat messaging this bitch's daughter? Because we had it planned, we could see that Pink Hat was the one who got into Linda's messenger. And this is the bridge that proves that Sarah and Linda know each other because Sarah was text messaging the daughter. And now we get sent a text message from the daughter saying, I'm not the daughter. And Sarah wouldn't give me money for a car. And then we have on video Sarah Jane Anderson literally giving us the story that she wouldn't give Sarah Pink Hat fucking money for a car. So this whole bullshit is again stemming back to fucking Pink Hat that we just and don't forget, she also messaged me and said, Linda said, hold on, let me find it. Hold on.
I know. I can't look through my phone. I'm so pissed.
At 9 o'clock on August 9th, y'all can go back and look. We did Exposing Pink Hat August 9th at 4 fucking o'clock. At August 9th at 9:09, Linda, the daughter, after she just told us she's not the daughter, says this. You dumb bitches can't prove shit, and now you will never believe the actual Sarah Jane Anderson. She's fucked, and you idiots are too. How dare you share my messages online? Right. We had just sent all of her fucking messages out online 3 hours earlier.
And we never posted anything from Linda. We had not posted any Lindas, any we hadn't talked about Linda.
We had never mentioned Linda. We had never mentioned Linda ever, not once, and all this Sarah shit.
And I want you guys to understand. So there is a chat with me and Amy, and me and Mac and Ryan and Sarah Jane Anderson, and then there is a chat with me and Ryan and Linda Wiseman, and then Linda ends up getting added in with her mother because Ryan's like, you know what? Fuck this. We're bringing your daughter in here because they were just running us in circles. It was just
it was originally you, Amy, Sarah, and Linda. You added me when she said that she didn't call me a cunt, and I came in with like 15 text messages, and that's when it went to hell because then she started spiraling once she was caught.
Right. Sorry, guys, it's a little complicated.
Yeah.
So that's the listen to. I think that's the listen to me, Linda. Right, chat? Is that the listen to me, Linda?
That's the listen to me, Linda chat. We have two. So so literally, Sarah Jane Anderson is a real ass person. We have seen her. She talked to us on video camera. Okay. So
Several
she's
times now.
telling us this. And she doesn't even realize. She just says, she goes, I want to tell you guys, she goes, I met Pink Hat in a Facebook group in 2023 in December. She asked me for money for her pancreatic cancer, just like she did Alicia with the fucking computer. And she said, I sent her $200. She asked me for more money for a car, and I told her no. And she said, and then she turned mean. In the meantime, the daughter, the real daughter, literally messaged me and said that she wasn't the daughter and that Sarah wouldn't give her money for a car in December. Okay. And then you're like, well, how did Sarah and Linda know each other? Well, in the other video we showed, Linda herself screen recorded that video of Sarah back in June when Sarah was talking about being a witness, and Sarah Pink Hat was messaging Sarah Jane's actual daughter, which is how they knew each other. I don't know how long they've known each other, but Pink Hat knows Sarah Jane's daughter and has been inside of her Facebook Messenger. And then while that's going on, Linda was blowing up both of our text messages tonight while I was on live, threatening us as she does. She was threatening us the entire time.
Wait, here's where she tells us that her mother dies. So she says, you all think you're clever trying to look like this is mom's account, but by putting her in the group chat above. So now she's trying to allege that the account so when Linda messaged me, I told her, she's like, can you unblock my mom? I said, well, you know what? Your mom I said, you need to tell me exactly which profile I'm unlocking. And she's like, okay. And she went through this whole thing and I unlocked that profile. And she messages me from that profile and she's telling me she's going to go see her mom, this whole fucking thing, da, da, da. I can't believe this. We're going to get through to this. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. All right. So fast forward, she's now accusing us of creating a Sarah Jane Anderson account that she personally unlocked and spoke to me in. And she's saying that we're putting her in that group chat. So then I don't answer her. So she goes, right now, let me make this very fucking clear, you pieces of cunt shits. She really likes those words. My mother just fucking killed herself. So well fucking done. I'm not even joking. This is fucking serious and it's down to you lot. Oh, hey, we saw that word today. I reached out to you not even a week ago, and you fucking cunts turned it into a fuckery shit show, which I want you guys to understand something. Ryan is the only one who went live. I have not done anything with this. I don't even know if we did talk about it a little bit in the live that we did early morning, but we weren't covering that. We were just fucking showing the shit. I have not covered this at all since this woman reached out to me. I've said nothing.
With Linda? Or was Sarah? Because you did the many lives of Sarah Jane hoax or whatever.
That was a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That's not since Linda has been talking to me. So, and I don't think I have. I mean, I could have, but I don't think I have. There's a lot been going on, guys. I could be wrong. But anyway, she's I reached out to you not even a week ago, and you fucking cunts turned it into a fuckery shit show. We will have every video taken down in relation to mom, and that is a promise. How fucking dare you? And yes, Ryan is a cunt, and so are you. We will be taking this further. I can promise you that. So I get that.
And so, we start getting messages at that point from Sarah's phone of Linda saying she has Sarah's phone and blah, blah, blah. And we did this and we did that. So Linda can absolutely use Sarah's phone at this point. And so then we started getting the weird messages from Linda on Linda's profile. And then we got the weird one, Pink. Yeah.
Oh, here's one more where she told you, go fuck yourself, Ryan. Mom killed her fucking self 3 hours ago. Yeah. Of course we have her phone. Now go fuck off. Of course I'm messaging on mom's phone. So it's going to be a fucking host. Fuck off. And then she says, do not blow this phone up with this shit. You bunch of idiots on YouTube and TikTok are pathetic. Fancy's videos are not fucking visible in the UK at all. Just fuck off. If there's something wrong with you, hold on. I'm just going to go respond to your daughter.
Oh yeah. Oh no. We're gonna talk about that. So then Sarah Jane, now Linda is on Sarah Jane's phone, and she says she's gonna go contact my daughter. She says it twice. Who else loved to contact my daughter? Who is following my daughter to this day?
Who showed me all 27 videos? Who sent them to Natasha Cooper? Who then dragged me to Natasha Cooper's live on Twitch, which I've never even been on, told me to create a fucking profile so I could see this because I just had to see it. And then every time I wanted to leave the live because I just didn't want to watch them anymore because they're painful to watch. I'm sorry. For both parties, they're painful to watch. And she's like, no, you have to see this. You have to see who she is. And I'm like, okay, fine.
So Linda tells me she's going to go talk to Ember. She says this twice, that she's going to go talk to Ember, which, Pink Cat loved to fucking say that. Pink Cat is still following my daughter.
Okay. Here's another one. Message me on my account if you have anything relevant to say. This is Mom's account, and we are taking her phone to the police in the morning. Oh, I'm sorry. You get confused. It's Linda Wiseman. Tell Fancy hi to her alter ego, Mike Henderson 187. So now she's throwing.
Oh yeah, Mike just joined, by the way.
Oh, hey Mike. Nice to see you, dude.
Yeah, you're the alter ego.
So you're the alter ego.
So then tonight, what we have going on is at this point.
Oh, it started. Well, it started this afternoon.
At this point, now there was a phone call going on at 8:00, just like I told you guys. I said there was a fucking phone call yet again because people want to keep me off alive. I was not on the phone call. Now, no. Sarah Jane Anderson is in a secure location that will not be disclosed. And in the meantime, she has changed her locks, her passwords, her bank accounts, everything, and is trying to get away from this daughter.
Okay, and there's one more story that goes with this before I can talk about what happens today. So the story went when they first told us this was that her husband had passed. His name was Alan Anderson. They made up this whole freaking obituary and shit. She sent it to us. They went with this whole story. And you can clearly see once we post everything for you guys, because we have to get it all together. You can clearly see that Sarah Jane as Linda is messaging Linda as Linda. They are having a conversation. It is very clear that is one person having this conversation, but they are using both profiles and going back and forth. So the story goes about that. And so then she tells us when she first calls us, she tells her husband did not die, that she just escaped a very bad domestic violence situation and that she is now in hiding. And I told her I believe her. Amy believed her. Ryan has believed her. And I continue to, at this point in time, believe her because she's a real ass person. She's a real ass, she can't be just fake. She can't be a deep fake. She's a person. Now she could be lying about everything, but I don't know. I don't know, Ryan, you want to give some commentary on how you feel about that?
So here's the deal. So from the beginning, let me tell you a couple things that makes me think that Sarah Jane is not involved. Now, y'all know us. We're gullible as fuck. We could be being played. But that being said, so in the beginning, Sarah Jane sent me, I've said this, she sent me her face holding her license. But we had no way to see if the person behind the camera was the same person that we got the picture of. So we said to her very plainly because she called Fancy first and said to not have me on the phone call. So, of course, what we did was we StreamYard and she stayed on the phone call and I just recorded. So, in the meantime, because fuck that shit.
Well, you weren't supposed to say that, but okay.
It's okay. It's fine. I'm sure she knows at this point. Because we're playing both of the things. So she does that and Fancy says, I need to see your face. So she shows it. Fancy's like, it's her. It's literally her. Like, what do we do? It's her. And she says, well, why don't you call Ryan? Now, at this point, Sarah had not wanted me on the call, but then she was like, okay, fine. So she calls me and I have an entire long conversation. And at the end of it, I said, just so you are aware, I said, I am recording this call. And she said, I told you every time I've talked to you, you can record this call. I said, and just so you know, we are going to be talking about this. She says, I understand that. And I said, okay, I just wanted you to be aware. And not that I had to. I'm in Kentucky. I'm in a one-party state. I can record anything I fucking want to. But I wanted to let her know that yes, I had recorded it. Yes, I planned on talking about it. And yes, there was a fucking problem. And she was fine with all of that. And then we all got into a call together. And I seen with my own two fucking eyeballs. It is the same woman who sent me the fucking photo. It is the same woman. Now, to speak to her, she is very believable.
She is.
The biggest problem lies in the fact that she said that her husband was dead, and then she turned it
Right.
around and said it was a domestic violence. However, she did send us pictures from her Ring camera with an altercation that happened between the two of them and the police, backing up her story that she was in this bad situation, and it was easier to pretend he was dead. Now, for any of you that have had abusive situations and don't want to answer any questions, sometimes it's easier to just be like, they're dead. Because they're dead to
Okay.
you, so it doesn't
But
matter.
and I asked her to explain it today, and here's what she said. Let me go back up because I believed the way she said it because this is what I said. I sent her a message last night because she sent us like, discharge papers. She showed us everything, like so. And I said, hi, I truly do believe the story you told us tonight. I need to ask you two questions, and I think we can get to the bottom of it all. I said, I'm sure this has all been hard, and I get your embarrassment. Why did you go with the my husband died story that you knew we'd know was untrue? I need to know that because it was so elaborate, but what you were saying and what Linda said were off several times. And then what made you text me to say you're calling in 90 minutes? Why the length of time call and why yesterday? So she's in bed. She stayed up to very, very late with us even. And then she says she stayed up longer than that. And so she said, this morning I said, good morning, Sarah. Are you up and moving? Hope you're safe today. She still hadn't messaged back. So about 1:40 this afternoon, she says this. Hi, I went with my husband died story because when my daughter came to me in hospital, she told me she contacted you and that she felt it best to say he died instead of her having her dad being talked about like he was a monster. I wasn't convinced with that story, but I went along with it thinking it would stop all the online hate. Linda never showed me any messages to prove she contacted you. The only proof I had was when you text me the following day. The 90-minute time frame for me to call you was because Linda was going to get some groceries and asked to borrow my phone. I don't think anything of it. I didn't think anything of it because she did come back and give me my phone back. I don't even know what was discussed with you and her. That is the truth. And I said, that makes sense, Sarah. And so she basically, she's all upset. She doesn't know what to do. She's like, what do I do with my daughter? Like, I think my daughter is very much involved in this. I don't know why she's involved in this. She's always been a dad's girl. She's very upset with me because I've left her father, and the video or the pictures that she shows, they are very much her and him. They are very much in an altercation of some sort with the police. He looks very, very, very much out of control, and I'm not going to show them. But do want you to know we're going to get to those in a minute because I sent one to Linda Wiseman. But let's start
So,
off.
but
Go
don't
ahead.
forget, while we were talking to her, she reiterated both times, and that was a kind of an aha moment for us before we even linked anything else. She said she is a daddy's girl. She really
Hmm.
loves her dad, and
Hmm.
she's upset because I'm trying to put him in prison. So Linda
Right.
has a justifiable reason that she is putting her mother out like this, making everybody think that she is crazy, making everybody think that she keeps killing herself. Matter of fact, for when she was in that mental hospital so long, because the daughter we have text messages where she says, I want to come home. And the daughter says, I think you need to stay there longer.
Right. Right. Okay. So the last time I talked to Linda in alone is like August 3rd. And she's basically saying, you guys like to put out this shit and blah, blah, blah. And she sends me some freaking, I've been reported this and da, 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 and this is happening. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. And I basically told her this is harassment, stalking, and I'm contacting the authorities. And then to add insult to injury, I just said, hey, Linda, do you know faking an international suicide hoax is a huge crime? You and mommy might think you got us on the ropes, babe. You ain't even in the stadium, much less the ring. So nothing happens after that. That's August 3rd. Today at 6:50 p.m., I get this message. You lot. Now we know we've seen lot before have fucked with me so much. And then the shit hits the fan because you thought it would be fun to further expose my mom. Now, since they've contacted us and all of this has happened and just the one live, We've done nothing since then. So what were we doing to further expose her? Because I had decided with Mac, we weren't going to run the story till we knew we had more information. And I talked to Ryan and we agreed we weren't going to run the story until we had more information. Well, here's more information. So the next message comes is, where is mom? Her number has changed and I cannot connect with her via message or call her. What the fuck have you lot done? Where is my fucking mother? And then some weird spelling of bitch. It's Bitxh. I don't freaking know. And she uses it throughout. So that's her freaking, I don't know. So then I have no idea what you're talking about. I haven't talked to your mom, because the reason that I'm saying that is because I'm assuming I'm talking to Pink Cat at this point. So I'm like, I haven't talked to your mom. So I thought she wasn't your mom from the last tirade. Or did I get that totally wrong? Your multiple personalities are showing. And so she messages me back and she says, who the fuck said she wasn't my mom? The hospital are being retards, all in capital letters. So I'm confused. I know she's not there. What is mom's Facebook password? So I said, why would I know your mom's Facebook password? I mean, you unlocked her profile for her. So don't you know it? Maybe you should check the horse races. I hear you might be able to find some information there. And so I said, and I'm in a whole ass other country. Do you really think we don't know the shit you're pulling? Ha ha ha. Funny, we haven't talked about your mom. So why is she missing, Linda? You tell me. Or is it Sarah? Or perhaps Sadie? I hear you love to hang out under the midnight moonlight sky. Cat, got your tongue? You aren't one for being caught speechless very often. So do tell, where do you think your mom is? And why on earth would I know? You told us to kick bricks a week ago. And then, mom disappears. So odd. So she goes on to say, what the fuck are you talking about? Mom asked me to leave her alone last week. I got to hospital today to see her and they tell me she has been discharged. Now, I want you to understand something. Mac and I sat on a phone call today and this is the exact story she told us. She told us that the hospital helped her. She went to her therapist. She went to the doctors that were treating her. She said, I think my daughter is doing all kinds of crazy shit to me. I don't want her here anymore. And so they blocked her from coming. That's why she says she asked her a week ago to leave her alone. And then the according to Sarah Jane Anderson, the hospital helped her get away. They helped her, get to a safe, secure location. They made sure that Linda was told that she was not was not there, that she was in a secure location, and that was that. And they gave her a little bit of lead time to get, to her house, and she changed the locks, got the stuff she wanted, and she books it out of town to wherever she is. So she says, I went to her house and the fucking locks are changed. Um, and I phoned her several times and it's saying call cannot be connected. So Sarah had just told us that she got a brand new phone. Please check the number and try again. I think this is something you have done. And I said, I do love your little picture though. What's the inspiration for it? I bet there's a story there because as you guys have seen, Linda's little thing, it looks like a little bear, but I don't know. I think it looks an awful lot like an axe. So don't you, Ryan?
So I'm going to show you all this picture. Now,
Yeah.
it looks, okay, so this, really, dude? Really, we're going to do this? All right, let's do it this way. All right, so you could say this is a bear, okay? But let me tell you now, first of all, Pink Cat was obsessed with the fucking axolotl story. Now, you could say this is a bear, it's got ears, yada, yada, but I want you to look at its hands, the shape of its head, and the fact that axolotls have the things here. And tell me, when Linda chooses this picture right here, I'm sorry, but that does resemble a fucking axolotl. And I think that was a fuck you to me. I
Right.
caught that yesterday, so I think that was a fuck you to me.
Right. So 7:05 this evening. So this is going on. So I'm texting back and forth with her because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put this to bed tonight. I'm done with this shit. I've talked to your mother. I'm tired of this crap. Mac and I and Ryan all believe. Are you dropping clues with midnight, moon, and cats? Faust Gray. You're picking up when I'm laying down. Wow. So I'm like, I'm lending this today. I chose violence today. I'd already had a shit fucking day. And I come home and within 5 minutes of me sitting down to my computer to try to work on the freaking pictures for the book, this freaking cunty cow is messaging me again. And I just scream out because I'm on with Amy and I'm like, you cannot fucking believe who's talking to me now. And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, it's Linda again. She goes, oh, fuck. What does this bitch want? And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to find out. So now at 7:05, So that was 7:04, 7:05. She says, give me my mother's number. I need to talk to her. And so I said, how would I over here in the States have anything to do with your mama cutting you off? I don't know your mama's number. Maybe ask your dad, John Archer. And she said, you spoke to mom, cunt. How did you know that was my dad? I said, you've mistaken my kindness for weakness. You're not going to want to do that anymore. The fact is, I have no idea where your mom is, but I do know where Anne is, which that's a reference to Pink Cat's mother. And how'd you lose your kids, Sarah? Because she did. So, um, then she says, my mom didn't have any kids called Anne. Is there something wrong with you? And I said, oh, see, you've entered my playhouse now, and I'm going to call the shots. Now, I entertained your fuckery a tad too long. So first, why don't you tell me how your mom knows Sarah Anderson? Because I hear she needed her car fixed real bad in my best Jennifer Coolidge voice. And I did not do a good one there, but my daughter does an amazing one. And she thought that was hilarious. And I said, no answer, huh? Weird. So how about you tell me about this picture right here? And she says, I don't know how mom knew her, but you are talking about the car. Are you talking about the car she took you to Missouri in? And she says, what fucking picture? So I told you that Sarah sent us a picture of her being, in this altercation with her husband. I sent that to her. I will not show that. I said, is that not your daddy and your mom? Seems daddy had a bit of a temper, huh, Linda? And how's Rachel? Was it your little sister? Funny, you had to include her in that. People were bullying you, but I don't recall ever seeing her anywhere. Weird, right? Maybe she ran away. I hear moms do that when they have cunty kids who don't want to end up like Dee Dee. Nothing to say. Maybe I should call Annette or Lexi. Ringing in bells in the is in that pretty little nuthead, ringing any bells in that pretty little nuthead brain of yours? I'm sorry. Wouldn't want to speak over you. Speak up. Oh, you do not want me to hear your voice, Linda? Because I tried calling her. I said, you don't have anything to say? Sarah Beth Anderson, I'm speaking to your heart right now, and I pray for you because it's black as the midnight sky. Because that was one of the first things she said to me when she texted me. Sarah did.
Oh.
Sarah Beth, Pink Cat. When she first messaged me before I even brought her on the team, when Ryan was suspicious of her, and she called me April Johns, and I called her on it, and she said, well, I'm praying to your heart. I was speaking to your heart. So I sent a bunch of memes that are hilarious. I basically said, let the games begin. I sent a what in the cornbread hell. And then my favorite one was Skeletor going.
So in the meantime, while that's happening with her, I'm on a live. And Linda starts messaging me. And then somebody made the comment that apparently Ryan Anderson had some crazy bitch from the UK call his job. And I started laughing because we weren't even really talking about Sarah at that point. And if we were saying it very veiledly because we weren't going to talk about this yet.
Right.
And so I started laughing, and literally I get a message from Linda while I'm live. Nobody in the fucking UK contacted anybody's job in the States, morons. She was in the live. She'd been watching the entire time. So I messaged her and I said to make sure to tune in 5 minutes. So I'm sure she's in here. So jig is up, babe.
Right. So I basically tell her, I'm going to let that percolate a little bit. I'll check on you later. Let me know if your mom follows the breadcrumbs back. And then I sent Steve Harvey in a pink hat laughing. Thought that was funny. So I said, don't forget to drink lots of water. I hear it's great for the pancreas. And she says, are you telling me my fucking mother had a camera in her home? And I said, what? And she said, you sent me footage of my dad with their police in their home. And I said, huh? When was that? Do you recall? It says it was last year. So you're confirming that is Linda's mom and dad? I said, so you're confirming that is Linda's mom and dad? And she said, I'm not saying nothing more to you. I have no idea how you got that, but I can only assume it came from my mother. And I said, why would your mother give us that? I thought your dad was Alan and he died. Or was it mom who seems to have a real Lazarus problem going on? You might want to do some genetic counseling, make sure that shit doesn't pass down generations or anything. And so she says, I have nothing further to say to you. What the fuck is Laura's? Are you trying to be funny? Because I'm not laughing. And then I told her, oh, what a tangled web we weave when we first practiced as a sieve, Sir Walter Scott. And then I said, no, I assure you, I'm not laughing. So then she tells me to fuck off, psycho. What the fuck did my mother why did my mother even support you? And I said, you started this, lady. I didn't come looking for you. You came looking for me. And maybe I should have paid more attention because I know how you get all but hurt. Don't worry, you have my full attention now, and Amy's and Ryan's and. You wanted it, you got it, babe. Your mom has your number. You did it yourself, and you have nobody to blame but you. Karma bitch kicking your ass. See you next month. And she says, oh, seriously, go away. You have issues. And I said, nah, you have to block me, bitch. But now I'm very interested in you and your friendship with Sarah Anderson. Wonder what it would happen if I took a trip up to where her mother lives. And she says, what the fuck are you talking about? So then I sent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Listen to me, Linda's of the little boy going, Linda, listen to me, Linda. Yeah, that guy. And she says, she goes, you need to get some fucking help. And I said, well, you first. You're the one with multiple personalities, multiple dads, and a mom that raises from the dead at will. Laughs out loud. And she goes, whatever. I said, can I show you something, Linda? Don't go yet. And she goes, oh, for fuck's sake, what? So I dropped the fucking um, uh, the video of her talking to herself as Sarah Jane or Sandra Anderson on Ryan's Live. And then I sent a bunch of gotchas to drive her crazy. And then she says, and your point is it's fucking Ryan Lee's live. So what? And I went, okay. And so she said, you need help seriously. So I sent her a little Taylor Swift that says, hey, it's me. I'm the problem. And I said, oh, I have got lots of help. Wouldn't you, Liz, love to know what's in my big old brain? And she said, not really, because I actually think you're all retards. I just love that she throws that word around. It's such a nice word. Don't you guys agree? And then she says, I wish I never contacted you. So I said, same, girl. And I sent her a bunch of freaking funny things there. And she's all, fancy, for fuck's sake, get help. You are clearly unhinged. And I said, Sarah, for fuck's sakes, get a lawyer. You're going to need a good one. Don't trust your son to no backwoods Southern lawyer when the judge in the town's got stains on his hands. And so she said, what the fuck? So now you think I'm my mom? What is wrong with you? And I said, wrong, Sarah. And so she says, oh, please do elaborate. I'm curious. So I said, I think guess next year you might miss the Belmont and lose another $22,000 since you'll be in the clink. And I don't think that I honestly don't know whether she can go to jail for any of this shit, but I'm just fucking irritating her at this time. So she says, I said, how many times has mom died and risen these days? I've lost track. And so she says, fuck off. So then I sent her this rising little freaking woman from a coffin. And I said, the block button works real well, but then you wouldn't be able to tell me the next time mom croaks. And then I decided to send her the exact song that Sarah sent me because, Ryan gave me a song. Well, Sarah had to give me a song too, which was Wreck Havoc by Skylar, whatever the heck her name. And she says, I don't block people. I'm just fascinated by the lengths you will go. It's almost comical. So then I said, honey, we can do this all day. Gave you the soundtrack to your fucking hell that you brought in yourself. Have fun, fuck around, find out, die hard. She said, have you actually seemed, I love this, seemed professional help. So I sent a Mortal Kombat, finish them. She said, oh, go away for fuck's sake. And I said, you first. And then I sent her Pee Wee Herman saying, I know you are, but what am I? And then I sent her a Bean saying, I know you are, but what am I? And then I asked her at 9:02 p.m., are we done yet? Asking for a friend. She hasn't talked to me for an hour and 12 minutes. And then she says, I'm going to contact the authorities. They will tell me where mom is. And I said, why don't you do that, Linda? I think that would be a lovely idea. Just remember to tell them you personally have stated about 6 times different death dates for your mom, and you helped orchestrate an international suicide hoax. So she said, I think I will. And I said, please do. And then I told her, how can I assist? Give them my number. I'll be sure they know about you and the text between you and Pink. You are an idiot. You are an idiot. See you in court, love. And she says, I have a legal right to see my mother. And I said, and she has every right to protect herself. She's an adult, like I assume you are too. And yet here you are messaging a random person in the States because you somehow think in your very warped mind that I've been a whole ass woman. I mean, I know I time travel and cross dimensions, but this is a little out of my skill set, even with me being an illustrious maestro. So I said, my mom never ever stopped her bank account or changed. Nice that she says bank account first, Ryan. You notice that? She's all about that bank account or change phone numbers and shit. And until I put her back in contact with you. Are you still here, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm here.
Did you go? Oh, you're there. Okay.
Yeah.
I said, wow, funny that you're admitting this is all your fault. Thanks for taking accountability. However, I assure you, I don't know what fuckery you and Pink are playing, but guess what? I'm going to wreak havoc. You asked for this. Nobody cared about you or your friend. You're relevant if we make you relevant. So now run along with the adult while the adults clean up your fucking mess. I double dog dare you to contact the police. Any of them. Hell, I haven't got a chance to talk with Interpol yet. So thanks for the opportunity. And so then she said, I have nothing to do with Pink Cat. Haven't got a clue what you're going on about. Then she sends a message all in caps. It tells me my dad wants to talk to my mom. So then she unsends it almost. And then, then she sends it almost immediately. That's what I was trying to say. And then I said, for fuck's sakes, be so fucking real and go the hell away. I promise I won't utter your name ever once again. If I, after I expose you for all this, I bet he does. And I said, oh, you didn't want that scene, honey? Too bad. Already screenshotted it. And then I told her she should take a nap. She should take a Xanax and have a nappy nap. And then I told her to allow me to assist. And I gave her the number that's the number for Cambridge Police. Just wanted to make sure you had it. I wouldn't want you to have to search for it in your weakened state. And then I sent her 10 top psychiatrists in Cambridge. And I said, this might help too. Please seek help. You are clearly not well. She sends back some laughing weirdo. And then she says, when I do catch up for mom, I'm going to tell her you've been making fun of her being in a mental hospital because that is what you're doing. Catch up with mom, I meant. I said, oh, honey, I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. You're the one who's panini pressed. And she says, why the fuck are you quoting Gypsy Rose, weirdo? I said, so are you admitting you are stalking mom? Your mom, when clearly she does not want you to? And she said, how the fuck am I stalking my mother? Kindly explain. And I said, well, your mom is gone, right? You said her locks were changed, right? You are demanding I produce a grown woman across international lines that clearly checked herself out to get away from you. Maybe call the police and tell them you're risen from the grave. Mother Mary, Immaculate Conception Mom is missing and see how that goes. So she sends me a thumbs up. And I said, was that clear enough for you? And she told me, this is it. I will have both those channels shut down, bitch. I promise you that. And I said, bring it. And that is my tale of Sarah Jane Anderson for the night. I don't know what else Brian would like to add.
Well, I'm sure we'll hear something somewhere. Look, all I know is this. Pink Hat only fits in a very small area. Number one, the bridge, where Linda obviously is screen recording and Sarah is literally talking to her. That is caught on video. So right. Linda and Sarah absolutely know each other in some way, for some reason, somewhere they met. We don't know where, we don't know how, we don't know anything. We only have that one message that links Linda to Sarah. However, in the messages from Linda, there's literally 2 paragraphs that says, I am not Sarah's daughter. She wouldn't give me money for a car. Yeah. Now, Linda, for some reason, could be trying to set up Pink Hat. However, go back to the fact that Linda does know Pink Hat. So she could literally have gotten the story from there, whatever. But they do know each other. They are in cahoots somewhere, somehow. I don't know. But they are connected.
And here's the thing. This is part of a larger group of people that are running around causing all kinds of fuckery everywhere. On Reddit, on TikTok, they're just doing the most of the mostiness. They are doing muchiness. And there's about, I don't know, 10 to 19 people that could all be doing all kinds of fuckery. Okay. So, but here's the thing. A lot of these accounts speak exactly alike and like to use certain words over and over and over again. They are very, very fond of a very specific V word. Don't you think, Ryan?
Oh, yeah. There's 3 people who use it a lot.
Oh, yeah. They like that word.
Yeah.
They like that word. So, we have been contacted by no less than, I think, 8 people. I think there was John and Johnny. Those were the husbands. There is Linda. There is another daughter named Jackie. There was a daughter named Jackie. There was a sister. Was Jackie the sister? Jackie was the sister.
I never got Jackie.
Okay, I got a Jackie. I think that was a sister. There was another daughter. She wasn't the right daughter. It's not the Linda daughter. Totally not the right daughter. There was a woman. There was Helen Hunt. That was her, neighbor. Yeah. So we're at
John
Rip
Archer
Devlin.
technically contacted you. Don't forget about that.
John Archer. So yeah, John Archer. So we've got.
What were you saying about the one email address that it had to be a capital I? It wasn't Linda. It was Inda. What was that about?
Okay. Okay. So it comes in from Linda. She sends me this thing. Let me go grab it. Hold on, because it's where it's the actual thing that she sends in supposedly to have criminal charges or whatever the fuck this is, some weird shit. Let me show you it though. I'm gonna pop it up here on the screen because it's very interesting, and I caught it, and you caught the extra pieces of things on the original obituary that they sent, but I caught this little shitting thing here. So let me go up here. I gotta find it. It's loading. I'm sorry. My computer's being slow tonight. Go figure. I've only got 5,000 messages from crazy people. So, why is it not pulling up? Please pull up. Where did it go? Oh, and I forgot to tell her. I did say to her at 12 when we started this live, I see you. So, going back up here. Let me pull this up now that I'm in here.
Okay, no. Okay, hold on. Amber, no. First of all, apparently you know fuck all about borderline personality disorder. That would not cause somebody to do what the hell she is doing. Okay, that's fucking insulting.
Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, man.
That's insulting as fuck. Borderline person, whoever is doing this is just completely fucked in the head. They get off on this shit. That's all it is. This is not.
Here we go. All right, let me put this up. Let me show you. Yeah. All right, so. Oh, no, that's not the right one, is it? No, hold on.
I don't know.
Okay, well, this is one of the ones. This is okay. So this is one of the ones that she sent me. It says, "Good afternoon, Sarah. Good afternoon, Sarah. Blah blah blah." There's all this malicious content and shit. They took down my TikTok. That TikTok has been gone forever. So God knows when this is from. She's like trying to just like come up with this random thing. I think it's in my email. Hold on. What I'm looking for, because I want to tell you how it goes completely. Let's see her. Where did I have it? Anyway, I don't know if I can find it. I know it's here. I've sent it to you guys. But instead of it being Linda.Wiseman or whatever the hell it is, what she ended up doing is it is a inda.whatever at gmail.com. Okay, so that's all in blue, but there's not an L on the beginning of it. The L is black, as if she just stuck that L in there so that it would look like it said Linda, but it doesn't say Linda and is not linked to Linda. It is actually Inda. Wiseman. Whatever at UK. And it is a UK address, but it's Inda, not Linda. Right. Inda. Weird, right?
And somebody asked, why are people doing this? I don't know.
We don't know.
Like I said on my live that I was having before I came here, I just want to know the whys of everything. What is the point?
There is no point. No one was even talking about her.
What fucking Annabelle poem are you talking about? You were literally down here in these comments. Okay, first of all, you have literally sent a bunch of screenshots pointing to about 17 different people, probably trying to deflect shit off of yourself. I'm not really sure. Don't really know why you are literally trying to. How many people did they throw under the bus, by the way?
Faust?
Yeah. How many people did they throw under the bus?
Well, let's see.
I mean, they threw a whole bunch of people under the bus.
Let's see. The first message was Pink Cat Sarah is resident midnight or could be working closely with them. You need to pay very close attention to Pink Cat Sarah. And I said, thank you. We have these. So I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to illustrate here. Could you be less cryptic? And they said, you're not.
Like they are now.
Right. You're welcome. I cannot, as that will give my away too much regarding myself. Just know that you're definitely looking in the right direction when looking at Pink Cat Sarah. Oh, I don't think it's Faust that throws her. Oh, wait, no, there's way more. Oh, I forgot.
Mhm.
So I said, thanks for the tip. We are well aware of who or what Sarah is. You stated on it, you had on good authority that you had tons of evidence. Man, who else contacted me and said that she had tons of evidence? It starts with a T, ends with an A, and there is a he in there. Yeah. Can you please send me? Can you please send me the evidence? Thank you. So they tell me no, I can't reveal my sources. Um, and then they start telling me, oh, I loved this part. They direct me to Pink Sands, who had posted the night that we were doing the Sarah Live and talking about all of her bullshit. The first one, they direct me to Pink Sands to see everything that's in there, not understanding that that's my fucking chat. So thanks, Faust. You sent me my own fucking chats. Thank you. Thank you so much. Um, let's see. How many more? Hold on. There's another person that was in here talking about these people. It's
If you
probably that
got, if you
person.
go, if there's something you want to say, Faust, just say it. I mean,
I mean, I'm not.
you're in here talking all cryptically and everything, like just
Oh,
like you were
okay.
there.
No. It's exposing the parody that decided to throw everybody under the bus. Oh, and it's not parody. It's paradoi.
Oh yeah,
So
don't forget.
this is where it starts off. I think Ryan was sent by Christy and also the girl Parody to take you all down with country dentures. Huh, funny. I just mentioned country dentures in a live the other day, and I haven't mentioned country dentures since the first time I talked about Banfield show. Weird. Anyway, the parody page and the page is made by Bree Mama Dooges, which they mean Mama Dukes, and they put in parentheses Dawn and Brandy, and they spell Brandy wrong 2 times. Tori. RM is Tori's friend and Bree's friend, but Ryan used to run with them with the parody account. Now she spells parody right there, normal. And all the pages made by Bree, Mama Duke. So this person just can't bother to spell anything correctly at all. Dawn, Brandy, Tori, RM is Tori's friend and Bree's friend. Didn't you say that in the fucking sentence above? But I guess you had to make sure you made it clear. But Ryan used to run with them. Be careful. They turned on Ryan. Rumor. Festering Fancy was in Ryan's live on the 19th on YouTube, along with parody account She Knows. And then I said, thanks for the tip, Thea, or is it Pink Cat? Or maybe it's Brandy or Dawn. I mean, all you seem to run in the same circles for much longer than me or Ryan knew. It's not lost on me that I just ended a live with Ryan where we said all these things and connected them to Thea and others. And here you are trying to sway me the what's the matter? Are we not paying you enough? Well, it's about time. This is funny. This is well, it's time for SJA to show
Hold
up
on.
again.
Halt. Guess who Faust is? They just told on themselves.
Oh, who's Faust?
They were talking about the fact that they know
Dun,
who
dun,
Who
dun.
Ryan's spy and her hobbies are. Somebody else came in and said that exact same sentence, Rainy Baby. And now they're saying that's not them. Rainy Baby came in and said
Hey.
that exact same sentence like 3 days ago. Like 3 days ago.
Wow, Rainey, I've been wondering about you. Okay, well, let's go back to sickness. Well, it's about time for SJA to show up again. It's been enough days for her to raise him from the dead for the 10th time. The person who was so convinced that Ryan was a plant was Pink Cat. Weird that you come here saying that right after I say that. Weird, right? I mean, you're just trying to help me. I get it. But man, you were just itching for it. How did you have time with all the doctoring and gardening and content creating, finding missing people and private detectiving to do? Well, hun, whoever you are, I'm not buying. You are delusional to think that just because Ryan and I saw exactly through everyone's bullshit and got our head straight. Man, I bet that chaps your hide. I bet it's driving him mad. Were you the one who gave the new instructions on Reddit of how to be nice to me to screw me more and push me to isolate myself again from people who clearly scare you? Nice throwing festering in there. You reach too far on that one. You always do. Laughs out loud. Now run along to your posse and tell them I said they can all suck my dick. Loving unicorns. Fancy. So
Yeah.
then they wrote back again. This is the last one. And this one, it's a little different. It's spaced out differently. And so I'm thinking maybe it's somebody else. And they do seem to be using the capital letters that were not being used in the first one that was sent to me. August 8th. Didn't we say that August 9th or 10th was when Linda reached out to me? Wow, interesting. So Exposing Parody comes back with it's all Christy and Ryan with Bree, Tori, Brandy, etc. behind the scenes, causing you to be distracted, my word, because you went in too far into the truth. Fancy, when did you get that info? Thea, a no one. She's not relevant, remember? So why did they go so hard after her? But that's okay. You will see it soon. Ryan's at the center and always has been. And the email is to expose all the parodies, including the ones made about you. But oh well, cheers. Huh, weird. Isn't that a British term for goodbye?
So
Hmm.
I have a question,
Hmm.
Faust. How am I at the center of everything? Did I make an account to completely trash myself? Did I sit here and make a bunch of snark pages in my own direction? I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that, nor would I put out some horribly heinous rumor about something that is disgusting. And weirdly, I know a couple of creators who love to throw that P3DO around.
I also know a
Even
couple of
me.
creators. I also know a couple of creators that just really love the word vile. I mean, it is one of their favorite words. And you know what? I like that word. And so it was really funny because I had to ask my husband, because I use that word, but I use a lot of words more that regular people don't use very often. And so I asked my husband, I said, "Hey, do you know a lot of regular people that use the word vile like all the time in their patterns of speech?" He's like, "Well, I do." And I said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, not you. You use words that no one else uses like I did. But do you know just regular people that do that?" And he goes, no, I don't think it's a very common word for regular people to use. It's kind of disgusting or gross or even ew, maybe. But vile carries its own connotation there, and it's a little bit interesting and vile that you
You know,
all are doing all this shit.
and it's also strange that Sarah Pinkhat calls Veda Jane,
Mm,
and then Thea puts out a video saying that vile Veda Jane.
Dane.
Now, I don't know if Pink Cat is helping Thea on her stuff, but it was amazing that um Thea for no reason went after Veda for no reason other than the fact that I outed the fact that Sarah played Veda. I'm not really sure what that's about. All of these people are just all over
Well,
each other's dicks.
Well, here's the thing. I made a little timeline and I'm not done yet, but this is the most important part of the timeline because it leads up to February 5th. And I don't know if you all realize what February 5th is. Now, first of all, it was supposed to be the day that we found out whether Nicholas was getting his actual appeal or not. But it didn't happen that day. But something else did. Resident Midnight was born on February 5th. Am I correct, Ryan?
Yeah.
So now I'd been talking to Ryan for a little while, and remember, Thea had only been there for 4 whole days. I cannot understand how one woman who was only there for 4 whole days could be doing all the fuckery she's been doing. I've been telling Ryan that. I've been telling Parody that. I've been telling everybody that. I'm sorry. I believe it's certain people. And you all have been telling me, no, we don't believe you. But we're getting to the point where we think it's really certain people. But this is an interesting timeline. So
I do not
uh,
know this timeline. What timeline is
I
this?
know you don't. I know you don't. So on 127, Pink Cat messages me for the very first time. And she talks to me about the fact that she understands what I'm going through because she dealt with the same thing with Natalia Grace. And of course, she spells it the weird way that Natalia is spelling it now, that time. However, she doesn't spell it that way anytime in the next 5 days. She spells it regular Natalia way. And she wanted to make sure when we did our thing that we spelled it this way, the original, this nice way that she's changed her name to, because it's only respectful to her. And she tells me how she's been, friends with the Mans and they screwed her over. And so I don't pay any attention. And she keeps trying for a couple of days and I say nothing. And then on 2/1/24, she comes in with her hot ticket Dan theory that me and Ryan and Thea had all been running down for the last couple of days. Thea gets pissed off when this woman comes up and basically says the same thing that she's been saying, that Ryan's been saying. Ryan was pissed. I was pissed. The live went to fucking hell. I mean, it went to shit. Hell in a handbasket. And at 2:30, we lost the motherfucking handbasket. Okay. Like, seriously. So here is her Dan theory. And I want to tell you a couple things. It's very bulleted. It's very wonderful. But
Did you
in the
find
middle,
it?
oh God, yeah, I've got all that. But in the middle of this Dan theory, she mentions an ectopic pregnancy that killed her. Not that was killing her, killed her, as in she actually went and died. And maybe she did. I don't know. But it ruined her pancreas. And then she does mention her rare form of diabetes. She doesn't mention pancreatic cancer. She doesn't mention leukemia. And she doesn't tell me that this has been going on since 2010, like on her Instagram. But by the way, I did the math. Honey, you should have died quite a bit by now. So hopefully you got cured from your pancreatic cancer, but I'm hearing it's coming back around. So I'm confused. So then she tells me, and this is all in 2-1. I want you guys to understand this is one fucking day. So we've got the ectopic pregnancy. We've got that she ruined her pancreas. We've got that she has a rare form of diabetes. We've got her Dan theory. And then she throws out that she reached out to Natasha Cooper. And she doesn't call her Natasha Cooper. She calls her NC, which is how we all refer to her when we're doing that. So she says, we reached out to Natasha Cooper before me. And Natasha Cooper made fun of her with 2 of her friends. So Natasha, I'd love to know, were you making fun of Sarah? Because I'd just like to know, asking for a friend. So then she brags about that she has uncovered and cracked the case. She can't believe she's done such a great job throughout 7 years of research of everybody doing everything because Sarah, Pink Cat Sarah, is here to save the day. She has given us the best Dan theory in the whole fucking world. And then she calls Dan a wife beater and an attempted murderer. Not sure he has those charges anywhere, but okay. And then she makes this weird allusion to the person that has the most to hide is the loudest, which sounds a lot like Thea when she said that, you catch a people lying when you tell a lie to catch a lie. Yeah, that's a weird way to think about things too, right? And then she throws in the kicker on that she's a media manager. And oh, by the way, guys, she is a professional TikTok modder. Moving on. I don't entertain her for a couple days because I'm fucking annoyed and Ryan's yelling at me about it. And she and I are arguing about this because she was telling me, fucking Pink Cat, funky Pink Cat, you cannot have this woman. She's freaking crazy. And I was being me and I was not listening. And I was very angry about the whole situation. And Ryan was frustrated. And it's really the downfall of everything that happens from here forward. So on 3-3, she calls me April and she says that she sees me. And then she begins talking about Natalia Grace again. And then she says that 48 hours after she brought forward the Dan info, that she thinks it's very interesting that the Dan files and the appeal where he did where he was at the appeal. It's funny that 48 hours after she started talking about Dan, that they went ahead and released those. So she's thinking that it's her, and she takes credit for the fact that they released all of the Dan stuff about the appeal and all of that because of her, not because of anything else, just her. And then she says, I got mad. She thought we were stealing her theory. And then she talks about Natalia and the Mans, and she offers to help again. She's upset that others were streaming us. People were messaging her that they are blocked, and she couldn't figure out why they were messaging her because she's not a mod. Then she again tells me my name is April Johns and she's praying for me. And she says that she's mad at Thea for stealing her theory. And then she also tells me that my mods are shit, that Ryan isn't the person that should be doing anything for me, that instead of being PR, Ryan should absolutely positively be, my research assistant, that she should be PR. And then 3-4, she was bitching about Thea. People are watching her now. She was in Mama Duke's live, and Mama Duke was apparently trying to get Titania to come in the box. Isn't it interesting? Before I ever talked to this woman, she has every single player's name in this, even Titania's. And the way she explains that she's seen Titania is that she's seen Titania in my lives on my TikTok. Ryan, do you ever remember seeing Titania in my lives on TikTok?
When she did, she'd come under a name that wasn't hers.
Right,
You
but
wouldn't
she
have
was
known it
never
was hers.
but she wasn't on my lives or anything like that. No, she was
No.
not in a box on a
She came
live,
in
so she would
mine
never even know.
later. She came
Right,
in
right.
mine later, but
Okay, so then she says that Mama Dukes, Thea, Titania, and a bunch of the other yo-yos that run around were all in Mama Duke's thing where she is laughing and telling everybody that she's playing me and she's going to get me and she's going to ruin my whole freaking everything. And then she doubles down and she says, they must have known I was watching and they yelled at me, get Sarah out of here. No one even knew who this woman was at this point. That's the 3-4. And then what happens on 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 2-5? So that's 2-5. I'm sorry, it's all in February. So what happens on 2-5, Ryan? What happens on 2-5?
well, Resident is born, but don't forget on 2-5, I actually put out a video calling Thea out too, though. So
Yep.
I don't know. Here's my deal. There's a lot of people running around doing a lot of fuckery with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And being an asshole is a full-time job to some of these people. And I feel like at this point, we got Faust in here throwing in everybody under the sun. They throw it in
We
Thea
got
as an after effect, which is really funny because she is an after effect. But it's just funny how all these people just keep throwing the same people under the bus. I mean,
yeah.
Thea then came to me, and she blamed Brandy and
Yep.
Dawn
Yep.
and
Mm-hmm.
Kendall.
Right.
And
And then Pink Cat blamed Brandy and Kendall for not allowing her to explain herself fully in a 4-hour fucking live about what happened with me in Missouri. And now she's blaming her and went to Veda Jade to try to find out how she could strike their actual YouTube channel for it.
right, and then she lied about it, deleted the
She lied about it.
messages, but Veda Jade decided that she was going to screenshot those messages and catch her in her fucking lie and let Brandy know that Sarah was trying to get her YouTube channel struck because she didn't get enough airtime in 4 fucking hours to
Or
make
the
her head.
three the next day either. Or the three the
Right,
next day, just so you know, just so
right,
that whole 7 hours.
right. Yeah. So there is a lot of fuckery going on and a lot of people calling a lot of people out and doing a lot of weird shit. And
You
the
guys,
more, go ahead.
I was going to say, Apple Charlotte, here's the thing. It sounds like she needs to be ignored, to be honest. She's clearly not very well. Okay. And you know what? On a regular day, I would go there with you. I'd be like, this woman is a complete nut job. I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell is wrong with her. Why is she doing this? I don't know why it won't go off that won't go off of there. There we go. It's weird. I don't know, in a regular sense, yeah, I think this person is completely off their rocker. But here's the thing, it's not one person. That's
No.
the problem. This is a group of a very lot of group. I mean, a very big group of people that think this is absolutely hilarious to do all of this. And so, no, I've tried the ignoring. Okay, look, ignoring worked in 2019 with Natasha. You want to know why that worked? Because the people that were running around with Natasha at the time, nobody was really interested in going real life with anything. It was just some fucking bullshit. So when we left Facebook and came to YouTube, we were able to shut it down by what? Ignoring them. So this entire time, Ryan, what have I been telling everyone on the team from the very beginning that all this fuckery started? Ignore everybody, right? I don't want to see it. I don't want to do it. Do you know that that's why I blocked Sarah Anderson in the first place? She kept coming to me after I told her no, after I said I didn't want to work with her, after I said, if you want to work with me, you're going to have to talk to Ryan. Stop talking to me. I asked
Never
her
reached
several
out either.
times to I know. I asked her several times to stop messaging me. So then I had to block her. I blocked her on my private account. I blocked a couple other people that kept messaging me over and over again with nonsense that I could not stop them from doing so. And then she runs over to my profile for my business and begins to message me there and is like, "Oh my God, what happened? Did something happen? Did I offend you? Did it happen on accident?" And I said,
That's
"No,
the only
I'm
time she
actually."
ever messaged me was to
Yeah.
ask me what she did to you.
Mhm. Yeah. Right. And then she starts on this whole thing throughout it. And we have all this. I have 772 screenshots of just my conversation with Sarah, and they are gems. You are going to love them. You liked the ones when she was talking to Alicia. Man, these are a blasty blast. They are a blasty blast when I get to go through them all.
You know, if you were to take each person and do one of those little maps, where if like you put Fancy here, and then you'd have like people connected to Fancy. If you put all these people together, they start to look like COVID spores because they all touch each other. But that makes sense because they're all a virus. Because they
Right.
literally all they're every one of them somehow touches another one of these people. And then when you go back and you look and you see how far back these people have been communicating, that we had no idea that some of these people were communicating as far back as they actually were.
Right.
And then you go back and you look at the fuckery, and when did it start, and when did this start, and when did that start? And everybody's been just railing at, midnight is Thea, midnight is Thea. I'm not saying it's not Thea, but I'm not saying that it's only Thea either.
Well, like, okay, you know what? That I thought about that today. Thea has been 100% adamant that the one thing that she's like, I'm not fucking resident. I'm not. She's not denying that she's doing anything. She's not denying she's making the videos. She's not denying that she's not any one of the other fuckers that go around running around. Her main thing is that I am not resident midnight. She could be any one of the other fucking idiots who are in this with different fucking screen names, but she is very adamant that she's not Res. And I'm beginning to wonder because I don't think Thea is that skilled, to be honest with you, to do all the shit that Res does. And it's very clear to me that Res is at the top of all this. And then there are other people that are kind of a little lower than this. And then there's the little fuck minions that mean nothing to any of them that run around and just cause fuckery for the hell of it. But this leads back all. You know how my partners like to run around and say that I'm their common denominator, it's me, right? It's always me, right? No, there is one common denominator in all of these people because several of them are not connected to me in any way. And that is Christy fucking Blanchard. Sorry, it is. She doesn't even have to ask them to do these things. They do these things out of their own free fucking will to impress a bitch that plays with everybody's fucking emotions, that runs between creators, that causes chaos. And I'm not the first. She caused chaos between MJ Pack, Aaron Carr, and Michelle Dean. Then she caused problems between Michelle Dean and MJ Pack. And then she caused problems between MJ Pack and me. And then she caused problems between Michelle Dean and me. And then she brought in Melissa Moore to try and screw me over. I mean, and then she, tried to take out Ryan. These people are insane, but it just needs to stop, for crying out loud. Can you all not sit down for 5 whole fucking seconds and realize the absurdity of what you all are doing? It's absurd. 100% absurd.
I mean, honestly, for anybody who's been sitting in this live for an hour and 37 minutes, does anything, seriously, at this point, this is beyond movie plots, okay? We have people from overseas somewhere obsessed with 2 fucking old ladies from Kentucky, and I just don't understand it. I don't understand what is the point, what is the end game, and that's what I can't figure out, and that's why we weren't even necessarily going to talk about this quite yet. But what in all of this, what is the point? What is the end game?
What are you all wanting? For God's sakes, I'm not going away. And you've all learned I can't bot, I won't be bullied, and I'm going to stand 10 toes down, standing on freedom of speech all the fucking way. And I don't care how much you want to say that court case was about freedom of speech. You all hid behind a contract law to get around freedom of speech. And guess what? You lost, and I already know. It ain't gonna go nowhere else because I double dog fucking dare you to send it to California. My lawyer's there, my friend's there, they're waiting for you. It won't go very well for you. I mean, the Missouri went well anyway.
Are you sure for that woman is UK and not just faking an accent and pretending to be a British woman? Yes.
She's at least British. I don't know if she lives in the UK or not, but she is at least
She's definitely British. She sent us a driver's license. Right. Let's see. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see.
I mean, I told this to Rod the other day. He asked us about all the drama. Why Fancy? Why all the drama? And you know what I told him to do? I told him to go back and talk to his wife and his daughter and tell them maybe they should stop their fuckery, and everybody else could just go back to regularly scheduled programming, and they could all just go live their sad, pathetic little lives on the bayou, lying all day long.
Yeah, it's I don't understand the fascination of why so many people do not want me and her to talk.
Because
We
we're a
had
powerhouse.
a very public, and I'm going to say this again while we have both of our viewers in here. We had a very public,
Falling out.
We had a very public, and I was triggered by PTSD. I came on here, and then Sarah Pinkhat was telling her that in that live I was saying things I didn't say. It incited her. I made the point to say I will not show text messages, but I will if she shows them. Sarah went to her, said that I was showing text messages, which
And
incited
you know
her to
what?
show them, and then that started me to show them.
Colleen even texted me when I went live and I was on there, and she's like, please, Fancy, don't do this. Please, please, please don't do this. Ryan didn't show them. And I was like, I was told she did. And she's like, honey, please, please don't do this. Don't do this. And I was crying and I was a mess and I was hysterical and I was reading them and I was reading them one by one, but I was so hysterical. I was skipping and I couldn't freaking concentrate and I was distraught. And I finally just listened to Colleen. She said, Fancy, please, I love you. And this is not okay for you. Please get off now. And so I did. I ended my live and I tried to contact Ryan because something she said in a live, it hit me. And I had told her the week before, I knew it was coming. I knew they were going to come for her. The second we did that interrogation video, or not the interrogation video, the reenactment video, they were coming for both of us because that was powerful. And guess who didn't like it? Pink Cat Sarah. And she needled me until I took it down. Guess what, baby? It's going back up. Sorry. That was the first time somebody really, really impressed me. It wasn't me telling someone, hey, I want you to do this. Hey, I need you to do this because this is my thought process and my thing and everything is mine. Ryan came to me and she had her own thought process. She said, I want to do this. I said, break it down for me. She said, okay, here's what I want to do. I said, well, what do you need from me? And she said, I just need you to sit in the box and do the stabs. And I was like, oh, well, I can do that. No problem. And you all saw, if you were in that live, you saw my visceral reaction. Because I felt Dee Dee that moment. I felt all that pain. I felt exactly what she went through with all those stabbings and everything that happened to her. And I had to leave the live for almost 20 minutes because I had to go and realize that I had allowed these people into my children's lives in my home. And that's why this year I have been struggling so hard to find the peace and get this out there so I can finally be done with Gypsy Rose, because I'm sorry, I don't want to cover her baby daddy drama. I don't give a shit what's going on on Life After Lockup. Do you, Ryan? I mean, seriously.
I was going a different route with this. So
go ahead. You go a different route with this.
Okay. So
sorry.
That's okay.
Squirrel. Squirrel.
Yeah, squirrel. But the thing is, a lot of people keep wondering what the hell happened and why am I sitting here right now? Why am I here? And basically what happened was we've been doing a lot of different work and we started seeing there was a lot of people screwing around in the back end. So I reached out to her, even though she was an asshole on Sir Morbid. The very next day I reached out to her. I said, there's stuff going on you need to know about. And she didn't want to hear it, whatever. And I was like, all right, fine. I went away. And then somebody reached out to her and then said they told her that I was right. And we started talking. And what we come to realize is in the entire time that we were parted ways, we each had parts of a puzzle, but we had different parts of the puzzle. And lo and behold, numerous people have said this on the comments, and I haven't actually said anything, but I'm going to tell you guys you were right. They don't want us together. They don't want us putting what we know together, because she had parts, I had parts, she had people, I had people. And if they could just make us do this and fight, then we would not actually start to figure things out, do things, and do what we had set out to do to begin with, which is exactly why we're here. And for people that say, well, you guys had a really public falling out, and but the thing was, in the beginning we were friends and we had a huge issue, but a lot of that issue, yes, it started with my problems and my PTSD moment, but
But
then that
it
was
didn't start
exasperated.
there.
But it was exasperated by the fact that Sarah was literally behind the scenes, not just even talking to her, talking to the mods. She had told Fancy's mods a bunch of bullshit, an absolute
Mm,
bunch of bullshit that was not even fucking true. So then some of her mods went fucking crazy, came into my stuff, trolling the shit out of me. I had some people that were going over there doing shit to her that I didn't even know about. But and so, we're going off the fact that even when we try to do normal lives, we have people in the fucking comments turning us even more against each other, because now I'm pissed that her people are here, she's pissed my people are there. And so then we're getting more agitated. And what it boils down to is that some of these were our people, but then some of these were actual other trolls that were like perpetuating this whole bullshit of let's make sure that they stay mad, because they're a lot easier to deal with separately than they are together. And I don't I understand the end game there of the fact that every time and you guys can actually watch us if you don't believe me. If you think I'm completely nuts, go ahead. Every time we start to nail something, figure something out, bring something down, etc., somebody comes in and tries to start a fight between us. They'll come in and say
yeah.
this, they'll come in and say that. Every single fucking
Look,
time
it's
we
well,
start to
well,
go
that's
anywhere.
even Linda. That's what Linda's been
Right.
doing, coming back, running back and forth. Oh my God, Sarah, you said this.
He would
Yeah,
call me and say, "Oh, Fancy's horrible. Fancy's trying to use us," to get off the phone and go, "Ryan just interrogated the shit out of me, and she's an asshole." And then she'd say, "Well, are you talking to Fancy? Are you talking to Ryan? Are you doing?" And they were literally trying to do the same shit that people have been doing this entire time. So
right.
you guys can either accept the fact that behind the scenes you don't know exactly what was going on, and we had to move past it. You can be
Right.
mad at the fact that we had a very public blowout, and now we flip flopped. You can feel however you want to feel. You can for Fancy's people that got mad at me over it. You guys don't know what was going on behind the scenes. For my people that are mad at Fancy, you don't understand what was going on behind the scenes. We always will appreciate our followers, our diehards, and we appreciate the fact that you care about us and that you saw a very public blowout and you're worried that the other person is going to fuck up the other person. We understand all of that, but what you have to understand is you weren't here to see what was going on in the background and how many
Yeah.
people were pulling strings in the background that made this whole thing blow up 10 times farther than it probably ever would have, could have, or should have. So yes,
Yeah. I mean,
people use triangulation to divide and isolate. Yeah.
yeah. Right. And I'm gonna tell you, and this is gonna sound insane, but I wrote out a list of 19 people that have been 100% running around, running their mouths, starting things, creating drama, hating on people, going real life, doing anything and everything they could do for one sole reason, and that's to shut me up and to shut Ryan up and to destroy the powerhouse that they saw in January. Because I'm telling you
Plus,
what,
what are you doing? What in the hell are you doing? Because the entire time you've been in this live, you've went after one of my mods. You are speaking cryptically about shit that I have no idea what you are talking about. Now you're trying to make Fancy feel like one of her mods is sketchy. You literally,
I
and then
was,
all of a
hey,
sudden,
hey,
then all of
Faust,
a
hey,
sudden you,
Faust,
then all of a
you,
sudden you were like, "Oh, thank God you don't think it's Thea."
Hey Faust. Hey Faust. Did you know that I was in that Rogies live and I saw what was going on? Did you think I didn't know why Danae was there? I told
And
her to
then,
come there.
weirdly, after everything we said, you were just like, "Oh, I'm so glad you came to think it wasn't Thea." That's an odd sentiment to take. Everything we've said, you're like, first of all, I never said shit. I never said shit. I said, do I think that she's behind it single handedly? No, she's not that smart. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
meaning to be, I am meaning to be mean. She's not that smart. But do I think
She's not.
that this particular thing is a concentrated effort of a handful of people? Yeah. You know, I don't know who's
Yeah.
spearheading it. I don't know who's pulling the strings, but I think there's a multitude of people using the same account, just like there was another account that went after me that admitted that there was more than one person on that account. And I don't understand
Well, and that
why
well,
they
that's
can't just why they can't just come out with full face.
okay, and that takes us back to Brandy, Tori, and Christy in the fact that the episode that they did over on Brandy's freaking thing called It's All a Distraction, where, I had just announced that my book about this was gonna be called It's All a Distraction, and then, Brandy decided to name her live that. It was a total coinky dink. She doesn't steal anything from me at all, ever. But when they did that, this is the same thing that happened in 2018, 2019, when we were dealing with Natasha and we had all these different fucking pages started. There was Free Craig, there was By Proxy, there was Fancy's Hoo Ha Cookie Club, there was, I mean, it was just on and on and on and on. And here was the thing we realized that they would be one person or two people running it for a certain amount of time. And then, oh, just as we were trying to get close to figuring out who it was, the vernacular of speech would change and the way that they capitalize things would change. And so we realized, oh, I see what's happening. They're handing these off to people so that other people can run them so they can cause more fuckery elsewhere. And so when we figured that out, we started putting into place who the people were. Well, Christy Blanchard decides to write the Banfield show because, yeah, Country Dentures told her that I was going on that Banfield show and I was just going to be horrible on that Banfield show. I don't know what they thought I was going to say on the fucking Banfield show, but I assure you, I don't think it's what you thought I was going to say, guys. But hey, whatever. So we get confirmation in this live that Christy shows the letter that she did write to the Banfield show. And we also just got confirmation now that the Banfield show did pull my segment because Christy Blanchard asked them to. And then they asked her if she could take my place. But you know what else was going on in that live? Two women who have been thrown clear for a very long time, who I had established outside friendships with at one point and talked to a lot and cared about, even though they had done horrible things to me. They got them to come into that live and take responsibility for it all, because I keep saying it all leads back to Christy, but she didn't create those pages, Fancy, so it's not her. Yeah, I understand that, Dean and Sandra, but how did you get the information to create those pages, such as Fancy's Hoo Ha Cookie Club, where you all alleged that I cheated on my husband and contracted an STD? And Natasha sat up on live for months shaking moldy cookies and making fun of me. Where'd you get that information from? Oh, Christy Blanchard. And I got the screenshots to prove it.
Well, right, Sam. The
So
language
she
and grammar
convinces
probably is
people.
going to change.
She convinces people. I don't understand it. People do things for this family that I just don't get. Do you get it, Ryan? I mean, you
Yes,
went through
I do,
this.
because I've been through it.
Right.
They literally make you feel like you want to defend them. They
Mhm.
make you feel
They did.
like you want to defend, like they come off very genuine, and
Mhm.
so you think they really care about you, and so you're defending your friend, and that's what you're supposed to do. But I am going to literally say one thing, which is somebody just pointed out, it sounds like paranoia. That's exactly the point. That is literally the 100% the point why we are talking about this. Because, okay, follow me down a small Illuminati loophole here. They want people to sound crazy. Smart people, they want them to sound crazy because then they won't be believed. Okay? So if we're sitting here and we sound absolutely nuts, okay? We sound nuts. Trust me, I am aware. If you were to come up to me and tell me this story, I would tell you you were cuckoo, okay? But here's the problem. If we don't talk about it, if we don't address it, it continues. And you guys can think we are paranoid as fuck, but we are sitting here showing you lines in videos and text messages leading to these people. It's not paranoia. They want everybody to look at us like we're paranoid. So then we are discredited. So then we are crazy. We don't know what we're talking about. Don't listen to them. And if they don't listen to us, then they're not going to hear what we are saying. And then we're not going to get our word out, which is exactly what the fuck they want. They want us to be discredited. They want
And
us to look
then
paranoid.
And then they bring out the people that then, and this doesn't necessarily mean that they're all connected to this, but then you get people like Nina and Toddy and Becca Scoops and a couple different other content creators that run around, and they do content, but they're not very great at fact checking. They get a lot of things wrong. They rush to get things done, and they make some of the most outlandish, things. And I call them a lot of the times controlled opposition because there are people that they can control and there are people that they cannot control. I'm not a controlled person. Ryan is not a controlled person, but the opposition that's out there is. And just because someone like Nina can sit in a live and talk about exactly what I said everything was for the chromosome disorder because she watched my live about it backwards and fucking forwards, and then has the audacity to tell people that they should call her for, an interview so she can explain this to them. Meanwhile, it's my discovery, Colleen's discovery, and we worked 8 years to do it. Then you've got someone like Becca Scoops who has put a nice, pretty bow on it. And while I think that Becca is doing a wonderful job, I'm sorry. I made a whole thing about the fact that, look, just because you put a pretty bow on it and she says it nicer than me, doesn't mean that that work wasn't mine. That doesn't mean that I wasn't the one screaming at the loudest all by myself for years. And I know that Becca got upset because she thought that we were calling her out the other day. Look, we weren't calling you out. We weren't calling you out. What we were calling out is the people who come into our lives, into our TikToks, and tag you all when several of you have us blocked. Several of you don't want to talk to us, but yet you're going to use our content. You're going to not credit us, and then you're going to go ahead and then be pissed if we call you on it. And I don't like that. And so we were talking about that, and someone brought you up. Now, I addressed this today on our Facebook post about all of this because it's not right and it's not fair the way you guys have done this. It's not okay. And other content creators, you need to start to wake up. Something really fuckery is going on. And if you're toting the fucking narrative, then you're part of the problem.
And for me anyways, I can look, I didn't even know who Becca Scoops was until the other day.
Right.
I've heard her name, I've heard her name, I've heard her name. I didn't know if she was on TikTok or YouTube. So I went and looked. Apparently she's got a YouTube. She only got like 7 videos. And
Right.
so I didn't even think I had the right account. But I don't have and never have had an issue with her. I've never watched her
Mm,
stuff. I don't know what she
no.
does, how she does, whatever. What I was speaking of is, for the love of Christ, stop tagging Nina in my fucking videos.
Videos.
Number one, she has me blocked for good fucking reason because I called her out for being the fucking bully she is. If you don't
Yes.
believe me, you can go to my thing and you can see me and her get into a fucking argument in the goddamn comments. And that's why I'm blocked. That, and I fucking told her fucking restraining order to you, which pissed her off. But whatever. You guys don't need to tag Nina in my shit. And it's annoying as shit to people like me and Fancy when you guys are literally acting like Nina's some goddamn godsend because she gives out gossip and everybody's like, oh, you're always right. You're always right. Does anybody remember when she said that Gypsy married her fucking brother, or did we all just forget that? Or when she
We
said
all
that
just figured
Gypsy
that.
was back in prison, did everybody forget that? I didn't forget that. I don't know why everybody else isn't forgetting it. Yes, apparently she has a source close to the family.
Well, do
So
you
do
guys?
we.
Right.
You
Right.
know
I mean,
why? Because everybody turns on the Blanchards. So we all have an inside source. Just some of us put it together this way and some of put it that way. But for the love of
right.
Christ, Nina has me blocked. And second of all, I don't. Oh my God, I'm done. Done.
Well,
I'm
it's just
done.
annoying. It's just annoying. It's really, it's disrespectful. Yes, I do know you guys tag us and things. Do you know most of the time that you guys tag me, I don't really watch all that because I'm telling you, I do my own work. I know this case forwards and backwards. There's not anything you're going to tag me in, honestly, that I probably don't already know or haven't already looked at. It's not, I've done 8 years with this, guys. I've done a lot of time with this.
A lot
And
of it
and
is regurgitated.
yeah, And I don't mind it, you're content creators, but Jesus, could you like stop freaking, causing these issues? Because what we said that morning had nothing to do with Becca Scoops. Someone in the comments mentioned her, and then what happened? Becca got all upset because somebody ran to her and started some shit trying to get her upset. It's ridiculous, and I'm really fucking tired of it. And you know what you're
No,
going to end up doing? You're going to end up making creators not do lives and go right back to just recorded content, because then we don't have to deal with the bullshit.
that's the whole point of doing them on YouTube anymore. Because I used to have people say, "Well, you said this," and you said, "No, I didn't." Go back
No,
and you can watch it
not
again.
gotcha. Yep, that's what I do too. I
If you're
record
gonna put
everything.
out there, that we're talking shit on other creators, at least get the creators we're talking shit about
Oh,
right.
correct.
I have never had any issue with Becca. I never
Me
have.
neither.
I've never watched her content to have an issue. I have an
The only thing,
issue with Nina being tagged in my shit.
I mean,
That's
the
it.
only thing I have an actual question for Becca, because I want to know, and I'm not being contrary. So if somebody sends this back to her, please let her know. Um, I believe that I've been told the medical records and things that she drew from, she's saying that she got those through a FOIA. And I cannot for the life of me figure out where that FOIA would have been from. I have the case file to the entire thing you're circling. Where did you go?
I'm here.
Okay, well, it's your circling. I
Okay.
have the entire case file. And what I don't have, I literally sent a message to Dan Patterson the first time he sent me the case file, and I highlighted every single thing I had. And then I said, and where is number two? And he told me that everything I had was everything that could be released at all, any way, shape, or form, until Nick's done with his appeals. So I know for a fact that the medical records aren't involved somewhere that I don't know about, because I assure you her medical records were not
How you can't
not
FOIA a
in
medical
there.
record. You can't FOIA a medical
Well,
record.
if they were in, okay, yes, you can. So if they're
How?
included in a fraud case, if they were included in a fraud case for evidence, then yes, you can. Just like, okay, think about it this way. If my trial with them had gone to court and had gone through a whole trial instead of being dismissed, I could have entered into public record every single one of her medical documents, because she was using that as a way to say that she had medical abuse and that I was lying. So, for me to be able to prove that I was not lying, I would have had to put all of her medical records in there. And then you guys would have been able to get them anyway, because they would have been under FOIA then,
Right, but they're
unless
not
the
under
judge
FOIA
sealed them.
now. But they're under
No,
FOIA
they're
now.
not. Unless there's
But
a fraud case that we've missed.
okay, so Noodles says you should probably email her and ask her.
Well, you know what? I don't have time to do all that shit. You guys like to run around and ask people questions. Fuck, just ask her. Hey, where'd you find
But at
it?
the same time, we are literally telling people to stop doing that. So I
Well, no,
mean,
I'm just saying, where did you find it? That's a great question. Hey, Becca, where did you what case is this? Did you get it from, this or that? Then she can talk about her own experience and her own information. She can
right.
share. Yeah, I got it through a FOIA case. If there's a case that I missed, fuck, I want to know. You know? But I can assure you her medical records are not in public documents for this case at all. They're not. So I don't know where she got them. She either got them from Natasha or me or Christy Blanchard. I guess there's a couple different ways, but I'm telling you, not a FOIA.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Christy
That's
does
it.
pass them out like candy. So I mean,
Oh yeah, she's
oh,
been doing
okay,
that for
hold on.
years.
I'm gonna put you on the spot because I want to because if you tell me differently, we're gonna fucking argue. All right, so to put everything out there, this is what you told me, and I want to see if you say yes, that's correct, or no, it's not correct, because then we're gonna fucking argue. All right, so what I got told in the beginning was that Christy gave the medical records to you for the thingy. And
Yep.
then they were also given to Natasha to then drop into the true crime community. That Christy handed them to Natasha. Natasha's job was to drop them in to the true crime community for them to discuss.
Yeah. That's true.
And
100%.
then
I have the text messages where I'm yelling at her about it. Yes, it's true.
and then
I
she's saying
Go
she
ahead.
didn't get them from Christy, but she
She did get
absolutely
them from
did. And
Christy.
Dawn was saying that that did not happen, but Dawn was in that live, and when Natasha came in, Dawn was like, "Oh, well, yeah, maybe she did give her some."
Are you shitting me right now?
No, Dawn was in. Dawn was in. Okay, this is how us allegedly. I guess Dawn was in Bree's live, and she was saying that they had never given Natasha records. Natasha came into the room. They saw Natasha come in, and then they were like, "Oh, well, yeah, maybe we gave her some of them," because they were going to go with the lie that they never gave. How did Natasha get them then? How did Natasha get them if somebody did not hand them to her? So
Just a second. Just a second. Just keep talking. Can you talk about okay, so I saw somebody talking about Becca Scoops real quick and saying that her, her partner is a cop, and that's true, but I'm still telling you they didn't have these medical records. I don't know why that's I don't know. I don't know where they came from. I would like to know where she got them from. I'm not being shitty. I really want to know where she got them. But just give me a moment. I'm looking for something. Carry on while I look for this.
see, because I'm in a really odd position. I don't think people understand how odd my position is. I've been with Fancy learning again, her session. And then I was over with Christy for a hot second, hearing, her section. And it's really hard for me when I hear things sometimes that come together and they make sense. And then sometimes I hear something that it's like I hear the complete opposite.
Well,
And yeah,
here we go.
Christy said herself in Ryan's live that she gave the records to Natasha, and she did in my live. In my live, Christy absolutely said she gave them to Natasha. I remember
Well,
that.
here we go. This is only the text messages on Facebook. There's tons more that I sent her that and on a freaking on my phone as well. And this is dated 10/28/19. So this is when we are finishing off the podcast. So the first thing is there a way we can do it Wednesday? She's telling me that Rod's last day is tomorrow. He flies out at 6 a.m. on Wednesday. I know I'm asking for a lot. If not, we'll try to find time to do tomorrow. So she was telling me that she would do the podcast. Okay. And I said, it's fine. That's fine. And I told her, loved you all. This is after everything happened. I was still telling her, loved you all. And she said, love you too. I just did not support Gypsy in her story. And then I tried to get a hold of her, nothing. I told her to get a hold of her. And then on 11/14 of 19, I said, hey, I know you're feeling terrible, but did you at some point tell Don Boker you wanted to bury me? So we keep going through this, and it's talking about Brandy. It's talking about, she says, I possibly could have said that, but I didn't mean it or take the steps to do that. It was probably when you said those things about me and Rod on your live with Brandy, but that's over and done with. And I said, okay. And then I said, what is really going on here, Christy? So much shit everywhere, crazy things from everyone. And she's like, oh, I don't have the flu. I tested negative, but want to go back tomorrow to get rested because it can turn into it. And I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with what I just asked you? And she says, well, I haven't been talking to anyone, so I don't know what is going on. And I said, all I want to do is be left alone to do my stuff. And now everyone is going insane, pointing fingers everywhere. And the only thing I want to not want is not to have Gypsy's medical shit everywhere. And then and she said, I hear you. I'm right there with you on that. If they do get posted, then Gypsy will press charges on her. She's talking about Natasha. And I said, well, how did she get them, Christy? And she said, well, I just asked Dawn Boker and she said she didn't give them to her. But that's hard for me to believe if she didn't, I have no idea how she got all the medical records. And I said, oh, okay. So then I sent a message from Dawn and I said, hey, what's going on? I'm just trying to figure things out. Did you give Natasha the medical records? Because I was told she will post them. And if she does, she's breaking the law because she didn't get permission. She's going to break HIPAA laws. That's back when I didn't even know this shit, right? Like that was what Christy was telling me. She's breaking HIPAA laws. No, no, no. And she said, I do not. And I said, well, I heard there is proof that you gave them to her. And I said, I didn't see anything for proof, but I was told there is proof. And she said, there is no proof I gave any medical records because I didn't. And so then I went basically back and, went back to Christy. So I go back to Christy and I said, what the fuck? This is all cement stuff. So how does she have them? Because I know she does. She again tries to tell me she doesn't know. And then I call her out and, then she talks to me about Ken. She wants to tell everybody that she's not commenting on it. And then I said, let's see, she says, I said, I completely understand. This should further prove Natasha is no friend to any of you and gives no shits about destroying people. I'm so sorry to hear that Ken is sick and will pray for him. I bear him no ill will. As for their relationship, it's sad for Gypsy, yada, yada. I basically talked to her. I said, that was a bitch move for both Natasha and Brian. It's going on and on. If I go to my phone, though, they actually confirms I gave them to her and I go off. I'm like, why the fuck would you give that bitch any of this shit? Do
Yeah.
you understand? She's going to put it out there everywhere. And she goes, I just wasn't thinking. She tells me that she wanted to show Natasha just a couple of them because she wanted to show him how crazy Dr. Steele was. And I said, what the fuck do you mean? Dr. Steele's not crazy in this. Dr. Beckerman is. So why would you give her all of those fucking files? That's nothing. That's her primary care physician. And she goes, I was just trying to fucking say something fancy. Now she's going to put them all out there. Can you help me keep her from putting them all out there? And I said, no, I'm sorry. That pooch has been screwed already. You'll have to deal with your own mess. I don't clean up Branchard messes anymore. But I have all that proof and I will put it out. She gave them to her.
But I know Christy came into my live and literally admitted it. I put her on the spot.
I don't understand why Natasha's saying she didn't know. That's really fucking
no.
Natasha
always was saying that she got them, and I was actually, believe it or not, I'm trying to fucking be on Natasha's side because the story that I got told, unless I am losing my fucking mind, is that they were given to you, they were given to her, they were given out. And each person had a particular thing. And from what I was told, Natasha's was to drop them into true crime communities. So it kind of drop and run type deal where they would get out. And that's what I got told. Now
that's exactly what happened too.
That's
exactly what happened. I found out because I walk into a Facebook group and I'm like, what the fuck are these medical records? Where the fuck did these come from? And I lost my shit. Because I had been holding them. We could have released them at any point in time when we did the podcast.
Oh, you mean like I could have told on the 23rd that Gypsy and Ryan split but didn't, and then I got it put on me that I fucking did it when I didn't do it.
Well, then I love how that. Oh well, okay. Do you know how this is how Jazz came in the first place? So Jazz came in the first place the first time because of this shit. And she's like, Fancy, how did they get out there? Did Natasha have them? Da, 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 da. Who gave them to her? I hear Boker did it, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, I don't know. And I don't know who to believe anymore. And so Jasmine started working with me to figure out where, because in the drive, every single time somebody does something in my drive, there's a log. It logs it and it tells you who it is. So she's like, okay, well, let's go through here and look. And I went through and I went through and I went through and I go, no, 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 it's not. I go, so no, nobody took these out of my drive. They did not come from my fucking drive. They came directly from Christy fucking Blanchard.
Well, she's the only other person who had them. So, I mean.
Right. So, yeah, I was like, I can prove right here that Dawn did not take the, and I'm not a Boker fan. Okay. I am not a Boker fan. Me and Boker, we have lots of problems. Me and Boker, I am pissed about the fact that I'm being blamed for the fact that I sent her in there to write those emails. I did not. I just have to go fucking take the screenshots, folks. But let me tell you what. No, she came to me with every fucking one of those emails in her fucking hand. In her hand. Hand.
I was told that they were meant that she was supposed to drop them in a true crime community.
And she did.
If somebody wants to fight me on it, that's fine, but that's what I was told. And somebody made the comment in here. I want to say something because I've heard this a few times and it's extremely frustrating. So they're like, so they don't want Gypsy to have any profit from her crimes, but all these creators can make a dime off of Gypsy.
I didn't kill her mom, so
yeah. Let me just say a couple of things on that. I'll go two different routes. Number one, if you think we make a bunch of money off this, you're wrong. Number two, if she's sitting here making $1 million because she offed her mother, why the fuck shouldn't everybody else make a goddamn dime? Second of all, but we don't sit here and make a bunch of money. My videos do not. I'm not monetized on TikTok. I can't be because I get banned all the fucking time. So all my videos that I could have made thousands on when I put all those million hit ones up, I didn't get paid for those. I didn't get paid for those. Everybody just assumes Bree put out that the other day that how we're all making money off of Gypsy's back. Number one, Gypsy made money off her mother's death. Okay, so why don't we go there? But second of all, most of us don't even make a damn dime off of it. I make money off of my lives, which is half the time just bullshitting about my day and running away from mops. Okay, so I'm not sitting here making a bunch of money off of Gypsy's ass. But I will tell you one thing, I would gladly fucking do it, because if she's going to make money for killing her mother, there ain't no reason that the rest of us can't make money for trying to expose her for what she fucking did.
Exactly. And are you harassing HLN and A&E and Netflix and Hulu and HBO because they made money? No?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No,
I can see probably.
Okay.
I don't know what you said, but I can see your stuff. It's going a little quick.
I'm getting tired, Belly.
Yeah, I've look. I can tell you in my time of when I was in the Blanchard camp, I never saw a check. I never got paid. I never got nothing. What they do?
But I do find it interesting though that Rod, they've toted Rod out, and when he goes on Ivory Rose's freaking live, who is the content creator he calls out as being someone who's trying to share this truthful story? Who does he say? Fucking Bree. She's our friend and she's trying to help. No, Rod, she's a fucking piece of shit you're using, and she's using you, and she spreads the most misinformation of anything out there. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
So go ahead, honey. I'm sorry.
No, my brain just fucking died.
Money. You're talking about money.
Oh, I was talking about money.
I said you're. Yeah, I was just trying to. Not getting paid. That was what it was.
Yeah, no, we're I never got paid. I never nothing, but at this point, there's always, I thought about this the other day, and there's always truth in some kind of rumor. I don't know where it started, but I can tell you I never saw a dime, but what they do pay you with, and this is exactly why Bree, in my opinion, because I've been there. Here's the deal. Look, like I've said, as much as Bree hates me and as much whatever, I feel bad for her because I've been in those shoes. And what they do is they make you feel like you were if I showed you guys the text messages, if I showed you I remember I don't even know if I showed you the one where Christy and Jasmine are both, we love you so much. You're such a great person. You're such a great friend. I love you so much. You're so great, blah, blah, blah. And they make you, for somebody like me who has a problem with people and feeling connected and feeling like somebody gives a shit, when somebody is literally sitting here telling you how great you are, how much they love you, you're so great, blah, 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 and then that makes you want to defend them because they're such a great friend to you that you're going to have their back when they aren't in the room. But meanwhile, they don't even mean this shit. And it's fucking wild to me. And then to have somebody going on here, sitting here saying that, this didn't happen and I'm such a breadcrumb seeker and blah, 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 but they don't know what the hell goes on or what's being said or anything else. There is, hold on, I want to show you guys something. If you need to talk. Oh, here we go. No, you're when you see stuff, hold on. Okay, there's Christy. Ryan is on fire. I love this strong woman. Yes, Ryan, I love you. Jasmine, I know. I love her too. I'm so glad that you made me get to know her. Thank you both. Christy, you're one of the best, Ryan. You are an amazing friend. Ryan keeps it 100. This is how the conversations were. I don't know how many of these fucking conversations I have. And then you have somebody like Bree saying that, well, this and that and whatever. I was literally being told all the time what a great friend I was, but then that's the thing is they make you want to defend them. They make you because you feel like, well, they think I'm such a great friend. I must do this,
Yeah, for sure. That's it. That's the whole thing. And that's what they did to me. They knew I did not go in there and pretend to be something I was not. I did not go in there and claim I had all these accolades and I knew everybody in the world. No, what I did is I went in there and I said, look, I have a very small production company. I think this is a big enough story that if it will sell itself, I want to do a scripted series because nobody's done that yet. And I think it would be really unique if it wasn't just based on a true story, but if we actually made it 100% accurate. Like nobody does that. Nobody does a scripted show and is like, but I said, you know what? I don't think we need to add anything. There's nothing. This is the most impressive freaking, you know, this is the most impressive freaking story. It's layered. It has all kinds of scandal. You don't need to add anything in. Like, and that was one of the problems I had with the act. They added a bunch of sensational bullshit that they did not need to add because the story was already fucking sensationalized. You didn't need to add fucking, oil to the gasoline to the fire. Like, seriously, come on now. So, and this is the thing. They use these tactics to endear you to them. And then they pull you back and forth. Like you saw, I'm in there telling her she's been horrible to me, did all this crap to me. Natasha had already harassed me, all of that. By the time we recorded that podcast, and on the last episode, she's telling me that she's going to do a podcast with me. And the last thing she says to me is, God says he doesn't want me to do it. And that's when I blocked Christy Blanchard. Literally. I blocked her right then. That was it.
Let's see.
I can't get all mine up.
All evidence will be released to a content creator of my choice to speak about this matter before you cause the Blanchard family and my family more harm. Right there. All evidence will be released to the content creator of my choice to speak about this matter before you cause the Blanchard family and my family more harm. And I said, keep it to myself. I've kept it all to myself. And that was the PR. There is right there where she says she's going to leak it. And it was leaked within half an hour. Within a half an hour. Right. So there you go about who leaked what where.
Right. Well, and then you've got Christy Blanchard going to the Banfield show because I deigned to freaking raise my fucking head to say a damn word. And of course, she's got me banned. Well, do you know who else she did that to? Claude Jr., Dee Dee's brother. Dorla, Dee Dee's sister. Now, they've all played along now because they're getting paid for this one because Melissa Moore came along. But back in the old days, no, they weren't getting that shit. And they were told that they either towed the party line of what they exactly wanted them to say, or they would not be included in any of these things. And I think it's disgusting. I literally believe that HBO, I said it the other night to Rod, HBO, Christy Blanchard, Gypsy Rose, and Mike Stanfield all worked together to sell a false narrative to the public that in turn got her a plea deal based on that false narrative and released a project before Nicholas went to trial that the entire jury pool stated they had seen it. And I'm sorry, I know they said they could be biased, but if you see that documentary, there's no way you're fucking biased. You're not biased.
Question. There's a rumor going around if you know anything about this. Is one of Dee's sisters suing?
I can't tell.
I keep hearing that.
No comment. No comment. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I just keep hearing about it, and I haven't actually seen the goddamn thing on it, so I didn't know if you knew or not.
I do, but no comment right now. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Gotcha.
I promised somebody. So I can't say that it's true, and I can't say that it's untrue. I do know the family has discussed it. That's as far as I can go.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And I'll give you one better. I'm the one who told Dorla Petrie to do it. So I messaged her and I said, I just wanted to let you guys know that I don't know if you know this or not, but you made a comment that I saw the other day that said you are so upset because she's a cold-blooded killer and she's profiting off my sister's death. And I messaged them and I said, if you don't want Gypsy Rose or the Blanchard family or any of them to profit off of your sister's death, then you have every right to sue them for a wrongful death, which is what Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson's families did with OJ. They did not get a conviction, but they got it in the criminal case, but they all did get a conviction in the civil case because the civil cases burden of proof is much less different than a criminal case's burden of proof.
Right. Yeah, I've heard of those before. So, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
did you want to go to bed?
Probably. Ugh. I say that, and then I'll sit up here and do shit for another fucking 2 hours, and then I'll be like, "Oh, fuck, it's 5 AM. I should go to bed."
I got to be up at least 2 more hours because I got to make sure he's up at 4:30.
Is your shirt, like, all sparkly?
No. It's one
Oh,
of
it's
those
one of the
late shirts.
mhm, mhm.
It
It
looks
looks
really sparkly. Yeah.
it does look sparkly in your I was like, "Oh, she's got sparkles on and her hair looks like it's done. Wow, did they go out
No.
or something?"
No, I don't know why it looks so it's one of those spandex
Mike and
type shirts.
Danae. Hey,
Spandex.
Mike and Danae, knock it off, please. That's not appropriate in our chat. Thank you.
It's been going on the whole freaking time.
I understand, and that's why I'm calling it out now. I understand you two love each other, whatever, fine. Want to have a relationship? Great. I don't care. Whatever you guys are doing. But can you please not take that into my chat? Thank you. I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah. So, is there anything else that we need to cover at this point?
Is there anything else you want to cover at this point?
I you know, I don't
The
know.
thing is, it's so funny because we could just sit here and cover things for the next fucking 3 years, and I don't think we'd cover everything.
Probably
Like,
not.
that's one of the things I did want to say. For all of you that run around and say, I wasn't this, or I wasn't that, or I didn't do this, or I didn't do that. For those of you that like to write, Dramatica pages and lie on them, those things, I've seen it. It's funny. I think it's interesting that you put all that work into me and then lied completely about everything. And then the things you didn't lie absolutely proved that I did do the things I said I did. So, not sure what you were going for there. But here's the thing. You know what? You can say whatever you fucking want about me. It doesn't make it true. It doesn't. And the fact of the matter is that every single one of you that runs around talking shit about me at one point in time sat at my table. And all I ever wanted to do for any of you was make your dreams come true too. You all came to me saying, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I tried to make that happen. Did I make that happen for everybody? No. But you all didn't do anything to help yourselves either. And I'd sure as shit like to ask every single one of you, what have you done in the last 8 years? What content have you put out that is hitting 10 million views on Tasha K? Where did you find the chromosome disorder? Did you go through the whole case file? Did you go through interviewing the officer on scene that went there? Have you talked to the all of the different people that I've talked to? Have you? No, no. Where's your company? Do you have a production company? Do you guys have books? I don't think so. So sit up here and call me fucking fraudulent. Tell me that I haven't done anything in 8 years. And I'm going to show you exactly what I've done in 8 years. Don't you worry. It may have taken me a little bit of time. But you know what happens when you're looking for the truth and people are lying to you? It takes a little bit of time. That's
My
what I
thing
have to
is,
say.
it still boils down to the same thing. If you don't like a creator, if you don't, if they don't jive with you, if you don't like their attitude or their delivery or whatever, you don't have to watch them, and you sure as hell don't have to make content bashing them.
Oh,
In the end, content creators are still actual people, and it sucks to open up your FYP and see somebody bashing you.
right.
And it's hard
Eh,
because we get up every day and we do what we got to do, and there's days where I literally have to pull myself out of fucking bed from a depression to
huh?
come live to then have people be like, oh, blah blah blah. Well, if you don't like me, don't watch me. It's not
Here.
hard.
I don't understand where did we end up here? And this is something that's a problem that I'm noticing across the board in many different ways. Okay, when we were growing up, and we're the same age, when we were growing up, if you didn't want to watch a TV show, you just did
Change
not
the
watch
channel.
you just didn't watch it. You didn't go
Right.
on a diatribe about it. You just didn't watch it. Now, then with the internet starting, you guys wanted to talk about my Sookie Sackhouse blog. You know why it's not there anymore? Because I didn't pay for the blog to stay up because, True Blood's been over for a while. That could be why. I wrote lots and lots of blogs about it. And you know what? I made money writing those blogs at one point in time. I also wrote a blog about Project Runway. I also wrote a blog about how I thought that Remember Me, the most horrible 9/11 movie ever, was the worst experience of my life watching that damn thing at the time. So you guys want to sit here and be shitty to me about these things, but why can't you just turn the fucking channel? Why can't you just scroll on? I sure as shit do. Do you know
I
how much
will.
content you make about me that I don't give a flying fuck about? I don't
I just
care.
I just do not understand for the life of me these people who sit for hours and record a live, and then after they sit for hours and record a live, they don't even want to watch. They go through and snip clip it. And it's like, bro, for the 2 hours that you sat in my live watching content you do not enjoy, you could have been reading a book, you could have been getting laid, you could have been eating dinner, you could have been doing all this shit. And instead, you chose to waste those 2 hours in a live you did not even want to watch just so you could go on Reddit and pick it apart later in this mean girl fucking club where you guys all have this mob mentality. And it's like, is that the end game? The end game is just so you can feel like you're part of a club. Because I mean, if you want to do that, come to one of my lives, chill, sit down, talk with everybody. I have one of the nicest chats I've ever seen of any creator. My followers, my chat is part of the reason, honestly. Some of the time, some of the things that I get up for, sometimes I don't even get up because I know people want to hear me talk. I get up because I know that my followers know at 8 o'clock their friends are going to be there. And I just don't understand why you would want to just waste hours of your life doing something you don't enjoy. For what? It makes no sense. Like none.
Yeah. Oh, Parody's thanking us for putting this information out the way we are tonight.
That's nice. It is like
Yeah.
high school bullies, 100%.
It
100%.
is. It's total mean girl bullshit. That's all it is. It's these women, and it's especially women. These women obviously peaked in high school and never got past the idea of I'm going to be shitty to you if you're shitty to me, and I'm going to bully you because I don't like you. You know, you don't have to like me. I don't give a flying fuck if you do. It does not bother me in any way, shape, or form. What bothers me is the constant barrage. I don't, you know, Brandy came up in here the other night, and I do want to apologize. I did summon her. I was so pissed off, I didn't even think about it. And I was absolutely fucking livid because I'm reading those text messages. And when you were reading them, I just lost my shit because I was so angry at what had been done to an innocent girl for nothing more than liking me. And you bullies, this is what I said today to a lot of people. You crossed lines when you did that. You know what? You want to come at me? I'll stand 10 toes down with you every fucking day. You want to come at Ryan Lee? I guarantee you she'll give you a fucking show. Okay? You want to come at Mac? Fine. Go right ahead. Mac's solid. She don't give a shit. We're fucking adults. But when you pick on a younger, weaker, less of an experienced person for nothing more than to hurt another person, that's foul. It's disgusting, and your behavior has been abhorrent. And if you people do not come online, Brandy, Kendall, those of you that participated in this, Pink Hat, and say that you're fucking sorry to that girl and take down your bullshit about her and not stop using her as a story, because I didn't use her as a story. She came to me begging for her to have a safe space. And Ryan and I and Mac and Alicia and Danae all tried to give her that. And instead, your hatred of me, you decided that it took you upon yourself to not only contact her father and tell her that she should press charges against me for nothing, but you also decided to send a link to her knowing we were live so her father could come in, bust down the freaking door, scream in her face, practically take her guardianship of her, all on a live for your sick fucking enjoyment. So yeah, Brandy, I did call you out. Yeah, Kendall, I did call you out. Pink Hat, I sure as fuck called you out because you're bullies and you're shitheads, and I'm not going to stand around and let you do it anymore. I've stood down for way too fucking long. I've let you all fucking pull shit for years that I should have talked out about. Not anymore. Not any fucking more. I won't be silent anymore.
Well,
Guarantee you, you're not going to
and
like me.
I don't know who's done what because I've not looked at anybody's account or anything, but I did make the comment to Brandy that I think that Kendall definitely owes Alicia an apology. I know that live where, I don't know what all was said or done necessarily for lives to be taken down. I don't know what was said, but I do know that Kendall owes Alicia an apology, and even if it was coming from a place of her thinking that Alicia was being used, humiliating her
How
on a
dare you?
live was not the answer. Humiliating her in the live was not the answer. Talking to her parents separately, not giving a link to the live, whatever. She could have absolutely, if she was that concerned, and whatever, call the parents, speak to the parents, whatever. But there was no reason to make it to where she was humiliated. She was
And you're
absolutely
believing, right? And beyond that, you're believing the person who actually was trying to do all of that to her. You're over there supporting her. For why? Because again, you hate me and she hates me too. You
yeah. A
hurt
lot of this,
a girl.
I can't even say nothing because I've done the enemy of the enemy as my friend. Okay, I'm as much of a hypocrite as anybody if I want to go that route. But that is a lot of what is going on right now. Is every time somebody has a falling out with somebody, they go to the person that person hates. I mean,
Right.
I
And
went to
it's the same people.
Christy and
It's the
Sarah went to
same people.
Brandy.
Right. Well, that's the same people that the week before they're saying they're the worst fucking awful people ever. How dare you? I can't believe you did this. I would never do this to you, Fancy. I would never do this to you, Ryan. I would never do this. And then they do. And then you're just sitting here going, what the fuck just happened? Over nothing. Over things that don't matter. Over people who I guarantee you wouldn't piss on you if you were on fucking fire, friends. They won't. They're horrible
It's
people.
so funny. I literally said that about you like 4 days before we actually started talking. I was so
What?
pissed off, and I was like, I literally would not piss on her if she was on fire. But it's so funny you said that. Anyway,
I
sorry.
remember you saying it.
Squirrel,
No, I
squirrel.
remember
No, I
you
said it
saying
to my
it.
husband. I said it to my husband. I was really mad. I think it was after I tried to help you and you were being a dick. And I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
I would not piss on her if she was on fire.
Well, I know you said a lot of hateful things in the
I
freaking
did.
you were mad that night. You were mad when I was a dick, and I was a dick. I was not ready, and I told you this. I was not in a place that I was ready to hear what you had to say. I was still angry. And when I'm angry, I don't behave the way that I do when I see things clearly. And it took me a little bit and somebody to kind of push me in the right direction. And then when I talked to you, I was like, oh, now I remember why I talked to her.
Right.
And you guys want to sit here and say that we're not friends or we're this or we like turn on each other. But I'm going to tell you what, when we put our heads together and we have all the information in front of us with the people that we draw from, we're unstoppable. What we come
Okay.
up with and what we put together is incredible.
Right. That
This.
being said, the chat is getting on my nerves. Christy does not work at a car wash. She does not own a car wash. She details cars on the side. This is
And
exactly
I
what
don't even believe that
okay,
anyway.
that's fine. But this is the problem with social media. Literally, you guys are sitting in a chat saying things that are not even remotely accurate. And then three of you are going to go to the next live and you're going to say, for the love of Christ, when you are in a chat, I've literally had to correct people like, so Brandy apologized. That's not what she said. I don't know what it is about people that do not actually listen to the things being said during a live that then they
Right.
go bounce over to another creator. They're like, so and so said this. No, the fuck they did not. Like,
Right.
don't spread misinformation. This is exactly why we have the problems we have. Is
Well,
just
okay, and I want to talk
misinformation.
about that real quick. There is a content creator. She's young and she is attached to Pink Cat. We've all tried to talk to her. We've all tried to mentor her.
Fuck her.
And she, no, exactly. And she continues to put out the most absolute insane fuckery and bullshit. I have talked to her about the fact that the news articles that she tries to put out are confusing to people. People don't know their satire. And now she's running around creating people's fake Facebook pages of all the characters. Nick Godejohn with her face as the character, but it's a Nick Godejohn profile because she wanted, and then she pretended to be fucking Gypsy so that everybody would come and watch her content more because they thought she was Gypsy. This is not appropriate behavior. I cannot believe you are doing these things.
Is she the one
What
that's
part?
putting out those ones that look like actual news and they're typed
Mhm,
out? First of all,
mhm,
I've had some people send these to me like, is this
mhm,
true? First
mhm.
of all, it's not even written correctly. It's spelled wrong. There's no periods. Like, obviously, this is not real news articles, but I will tell you, first of all, bringing her up around me was not a good idea because I'm going to tell you, this girl has made no less than 3 snark pages in my fucking direction. No less than, I know of 3. I don't know how many extra ones there are.
Oh, there's lots.
Okay. Oh, I know. And she is ridiculous. And all of it started, and I have the text messages because she came kissing my ass. She had given Fancy an account of hers to use. And so when she came
No,
to
she
me,
did not. No, she did not.
you
No,
were
I have no.
you were literally well, she was posting videos of you that looked like you were taking the account or something.
Oh, no, no,
And
no. I have
so
never been given an
when
account
she
by
came to
anybody but
me,
Eris.
when she came to me, I was pissed. I thought you had taken her account. I thought you were trying to get a hold of me that way. She came
God,
to me and
no.
she's like, "Oh, I feel like I'm talking to a celebrity." I'm like, "Oh, I bet you do." And I was like, because I thought she was you. And so when I shot
Oh,
her
yeah.
down, she went kissing your ass. And the next thing I know, I have 5 fucking snark pages in my direction. Yes, her name starts with an M.
And yeah, she's also the person who I got pulled into that was the live that Sarah sent me, asked me to come to, told me about the fucking monkey in the zoo or wherever the fuck that was that morning. And you were sleeping and we had both chosen violence that morning. And she ended up getting me up into that girl's live. It was horrible. It all fell apart epically. And you were fucking livid. You got up and you're like, what the fuck? Didn't I just tell you not to do this shit? I was like, yeah, but I wanted to read the little thing about the fucking monkey in the zoo. I just wanted to do a little freaking thing about the monkey in the damn zoo. It was a good post and I wanted to read it. And then it went to hell in a handbasket. And
I
it's like
don't
from
know.
that moment on, from that moment on, it was just all out fuckery
Here's my thing
and
though.
every way
Spy.
direction.
Here's my thing. You know, this is gonna ruffle feathers because I'm abrasive and I'm not gonna say it correctly. But okay, I heard she has
Well, the
mental
fact
health
that you
issues. Guess
preface with
what?
that is good.
Okay, I heard she has mental health issues. So what? Straight ass, so what? Okay, I am on disability because I am nuttier
Mhm.
than a fucking $2 bill. But what you don't
Don't
see
see
me
me.
doing, you don't see me making a bunch of snark accounts. You don't see me putting
Yeah.
out a bunch of misinformation. You don't see me pretending to be people because I am so starved for attention. At some point, people need to take responsibility for what they are doing and stop blaming things that everybody copes with on the fucking daily. And this is not a trigger situation. This is not something she was provoked to do. For anybody who says, well, you said that you had a PTSD, being triggered, literally having a PTSD trigger moment is not the same as saying, oh, I'm depressed. I'm going to go make people feel like shit. Okay. People do not get to blame things that are mean hearted on, well, I have issues. It doesn't matter.
Okay, okay. Here's what I
You
want
can
to
tell
know.
me this person.
What issues would explain her putting out news articles that look like news articles that are completely ridiculous? And then when we approached her about it, she just tells me, I thought they were funny. And I said, no, do you understand? I can't be associated with you at all because of that, because I am the one who stands up and screams, hey, I won't allow misinformation in this case. And then I have a friend who's literally spreading misinformation in this case. I can't talk with you ever again. And I told her that, and she continued to put it out. And I said, well, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not going to do this because you're creating chaos for no fucking other reason than to create chaos. Because what? You want to be popular today because you weren't popular enough in school? Well, I'm sorry. Not everybody gets to be popular. Sorry. Some people don't get to be that. Some people are
Yeah,
average.
I've seen so many things go on from that girl, and
Right.
um, I called her out a lot of times in my lives. She
Mhm.
would have 5 people in the live, and she'd just sit there and stream my live, and it's like,
Right.
when you get your own content. you know, and
Right.
and by the way, if there's anybody, I know where this is going. Well, Ryan's stream breeze live for 20 minutes. I was literally, they were asking you questions, so I was letting them like, as soon as that was done, I shut it off. You know, I'm not, I don't need to have other people's content for my content. Okay, I'm good enough making my own content.
Exactly.
But they
When
were
have I ever
asking you
stolen
questions,
anyone's fucking
so I
content?
mean, yeah.
Right. When have I ever
When did
stolen
Christy ever
anyone's
say she
content?
works at a
Never.
car wash? She said she details cars. That does not mean the two are correlated. I've never heard her say she works at a car wash.
I've
I've heard
never
her
heard
say
her
she
say she
details
works at a
cars.
car wash.
You detail the cars at a car wash, but that does not mean you work at a car wash if you detail cars. So I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how that works. But I mean, maybe she said it and I don't know. I mean,
Who
she
fucking
does think she's
knows?
untouchable. She said it on her TikTok thing. Okay, I've never heard it. I don't.
Okay, so last thing. I've not gotten to hear your opinion on my conversation with Rod. Have you seen it? Have you seen all of it?
I heard 2/3 of it. One thing I could tell that number one, it was very, I could tell that there was a delay
There
because
was.
I could tell that sometimes you didn't realize you were talking over him.
Yeah, I didn't.
I feel like you did better than normal. I do believe he got talked over a little bit, but at the same time, when he did answer, it was, I don't know. I mean, like,
Or he either tried to skirt it or he tried to lie, and I wasn't going to allow him to do either that night. I told Jen Lu from Ward Case Studies that I kind of took a moment, like I wasn't prepared for that either. Everyone wants to sit there and say that I bullied him. He wasn't prepared. Well, I'm sorry. You know what? How are you not prepared to discuss the fucking events of your motherfucking life? I'm sorry, it's your life. How do I know more about your fucking life? So I know this case backwards and forwards, yeah, and I couldn't barely hear him. And he tried to sidestep me, and he was really, really panini pressed about that whole fucking $10. I mean, he is panini pressed about that. But
I question
mhm.
again, and this boils down to the same bullshit. How did he know that a small creator, what does it always boil down to, that they are constantly surrounding themselves by small creators? Why was he in that live to begin with?
I don't know, and that's the thing. So everybody thought that I was already there when he came. No, what happened was I was doing my own fucking thing. I was off doing whatever, and I got a message from a content creator that I didn't know that said, "Hey, Rod Blanchard was in this girl's live," and I had just done the whole thing about that the other night. I'd met her and everything, and so and they said, and he just said, Fancy Miss Ellie's thought process, some of those things she has merit. I was flabbergasted. I just couldn't believe it. So I went over there and I got up in the panel. It took me a little while to get up there. And that was the only thing I wanted to ask. I literally said, did Rod Blanchard just say this? And they're like, he did. And in the chat, Rod comes back and he specifically asked to come up and talk to me. People are like, well, you controlled the panel. Yeah, because he asked to speak to me. And I'll be honest, that wasn't a conversation necessarily for you guys to really know what I was going for. I was treating that almost like cross examination. And a lawyer does not allow answers in a court of law to go further than they want. And they don't ask questions they don't know answers to. And I schooled him up one side and down the other on everything. And I think that hopefully I gave him a little bit of pause, maybe a little bit of thought process, because I try to give Rod the benefit of the doubt of everybody in this. I don't know why, but I try. But I'm beginning to realize now that after I got off there, they did a whole nother hour with him. And I mean, it came down to the point where he said, well, her story's not over yet. And everybody said, but it is. And he said, well, why are you watching? I mean, people pay to watch Lifetime, so I don't have any control over whether the show gets made or not. What the fuck do you mean you don't have any control over whether the show gets made or not? You fulfilled your contractual obligation. You don't have to continue to sign up for more fucking seasons, dude.
Well, again, though, but he knows where to find you. You have your own channel.
That's what I told him. He's got my fucking phone number in his phone. Come on
I
now.
just don't understand why, yet again, bringing in another small-time creator.
Here.
They're it's like they're collecting everybody, and and now this girl thinks whatever, because essentially she sat there while you and Rod run a fucking panel on her channel, which
Right.
I mean, you know,
I don't
if for years you've had your own I don't know why if he wanted to say something to you,
that's what I
why
said.
where is he? Where is he right now?
Well,
I
I
mean,
was
hell, we
stepping
got both
right.
people in the fucking box. Where you at?
I was
But
stepping down when they told me he was coming up, and I was like, "What?" I was totally unprepared for that. I was completely caught off guard for that, but I thought I did a pretty damn good job. I got him in a lot of different things. I really felt like I got some very interesting answers from him. Very, very interesting answers. So,
well, one of them
anyway,
that frustrated me was he was
mhm,
like, "Well, you're like, why weren't you more productive in your daughter's life?" He's like, "Well, I work." Here's my problem. Number one, every fucking parent, for the most part in America, works. But the part is that he forgot to mention that the part that I think that people need to understand is he's gone 28 days at a time, which means he's home 28 days at a time. So why the fuck those 6 months out of a year, you don't want to be more involved in your child's life,
right.
period.
Any of them. Any of them.
I don't understand that to
It's
say, well, I work. So the fuck what? So what? You think other parents
right.
don't fucking work? But you're
Right.
home 28 days in a row, motherfucker. Where are you at? And then to say,
Right.
well, you know, we tried to make a trip when she was 17 or 18. Oh, it only took you 18 fucking years. Congratulations.
Oh, and then we didn't go all the way because she was avoiding us. Oh, I'm sorry, Ryan. If you were supposed to be going to see your disabled child fucking states away and you had made a whole special trip and the baby mama wasn't fucking answering the phone and you know your kid is sick, would you just turn around and go the other way or would you continue to drive on and be like, where the fuck is my kid? Is my kid okay? Are you dead? Is she alive? Are you alive? Yeah, the story makes no sense. It never makes any fucking sense.
I've heard both sides of it. I've heard both sides of it. And surprisingly, I was very surprised. Surprisingly, they're very similar. They're very similar. The what they told me is very very similar to what you did. Their explanation was
Mhm.
just that they didn't want Mia to be upset.
Right.
They didn't
No,
they didn't want Mia
that
to
was
be
their
upset.
explanation. That
Yeah.
was their explanation,
Wait.
and I don't understand how. So not driving on to see her isn't more upsetting. Is more upsetting to her than just, oh well, we're just not even gonna try. Let's go the fuck home.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make any fucking sense. All right, well, I'm losing it. I'm starting to fade out. So I'm gonna go take my pills and go lay down. And I will see you all in the morning. I'm sure Ryan's probably gonna go and talk some more.
I gotta stay up another hour and a half, man. I gotta make sure he gets up and out of here. Though he's just started this new schedule yesterday, and he's like,
Yeah.
I called him at 6 o'clock yesterday. I said, "Hey, get up." He go, "All right, cool." So I called him at 6. I called him at like 6:20. I was like, "Bro, I need you to get up." He's like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm getting up right now." I go in there at 6:37. Motherfucker passed out cold in the goddamn bed, and I say, "Get the fuck up."
Shimmer,
So
we're working on that. We're
so I'm
working on that.
trying to get him up. So I got to get him up at 4:30.
Yeah.
So thank y'all for showing up. We appreciate you.
And thank you for dealing with our crazy Sarah Jane Anderson story, which isn't really crazy Sarah Jane Anderson. Now it's crazy other fuckers.
Right. Yeah. So
I
far,
mean,
unless if we hear another if this story develops even more and we find out that Sarah Jane really has more of a hand in it than what she's saying, well then y'all are just gonna find that out too. So I mean,
right. I mean, Ryan and I aren't, we're not impervious to getting it wrong. We're also not impervious to being manipulated. We've proven that. We can both be manipulated. And I think that's why they don't want us together is because together, because I say, hey, wait a minute, or you say, hey, wait a minute, and we stop, you know? So it's different. And I'm glad that we're starting to see a community that I feel is maybe healing from all of this. A community that can come back together and finish off what we all started, you know, no matter where you got in the game. We've either been here one day or 8 years. You know, we all came together because we cared about this case. We wanted to know the truth. And anything less than that is 100%, in my opinion, unacceptable. Have a good one from the Good Wives, serving up true crime, one dish at a time. Bye, guys.